So Floyd assured everyone that the Pacquiao fight will be finalized within the next 48 hours. And if he knows what's good for him, they'll hurry up and do that. He owes a lot of people a lot of money. Um, he did the press conference for the Mike Zambides exhibition in Greece, you know, which is really telling. I mean, yeah, Mike Zambides was definitely a somebody in kickboxing. He definitely was for a period. But for someone of Floyd Mayweather's stature, who is said to be the highest earning boxer in the history of boxing, the richest boxer that ever lived, to be lending himself to a mom and pop shop kind of event like that, like you got to call it what it is. It's a Cracker Jack kind of show. The fuck you doing in Greece doing a waltz with this guy? And how much are they really paying you to do that? Come on. You think them people like what are they really paying that guy to do that? Like the writing is on the wall. Jay, what it do? The writing is on the wall. But he's doing that. Apparently, he's doing that. So much for the Mike Tyson exhibition because that was supposed to be last month, actually. That was supposed to be last month in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, which immediately told me, yeah, that shit ain't gonna happen. Who the fuck in the Congo got the money for Mike and Floyd? Who? The local militia? I'm saying. Local warlord wants to see a boxing match? What it do, Davo? What it do, killer? Right? That dude is down bad, man. So is Broner. Broner is on some, not only is Broner on some substance abuse shit, he on some straight booty bandit shit. Like, I just seen a video. The shit is just mad uncomfortable. Dean the Great is asleep on the couch in his boxers with his ass in the air. And guess who's looking at that shit? Fucking Broner said he got we said he an old fat booty. Like, yo, fam, what's good with these guys, man? And these, like I said, these is the guys that get a lot of love from certain motherfuckers. These old closet motherfuckers, man. Like, yeah, y'all like that shit. That's why y'all like that. That's why y'all like that. Y'all like that weird ass shit. Booty bandit ass shit. Can you imagine Adrien Broner in your house? It's like 8 in the morning and he looking at your asshole. What is happening here? That dude is just weird and disgusting, bro. Floyd versus AB 2027. He look like everybody uncle right now. AB is boxing's uncle at this point. He at the cookout making people uncomfortable and telling bad jokes. He a booty bandit. That shit is disgusting, bro. That shit is straight up disgusting. But yeah, that whole crop seems to have gone bad. Keith Thurman is now calling out Nikita Tszyu for a fight in Australia. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if y'all seen that because let's be honest, who really takes the time out to report and read Keith Thurman nudes besides your boy? Keith Thurman wants to fight Nikita Tszyu in Australia. I say do it. Fuck it. Fuck it. He's a name. He's gatekeeper status now. Straight up. He's been gatekeeper status low key. It's just that he didn't fight often enough for it to come to that. But as far as I'm concerned, Keith Thurman's been a gatekeeper since 2019. The moment you couldn't beat a 40-year-old Manny Pacquiao is the moment I knew you're a gatekeeper. Any spirited young fighter gets their hands on you, they're going to fuck you up. But because you didn't fight that often, you got to preserve yourself a while longer. I think Mean Machine would have stopped him. I absolutely think Mean Machine would have stopped him. Absolutely. Guy's not that good. If the only way for you to not lose fights is to not fight, like at all, well, that tells the story then, doesn't it? And he won't fight Nikita Tszyu. Do it. Fuck it. Shout out to my man Jay Flint. Am I tripping, or are we seeing the whole Errol and Bud thing with David and Jai? It seems like history is repeating itself, and we all know how that went. Yeah, I agree with you, Jay. I think it's really the same thing. It's just it's harder to disguise now because at least before, and I said this in the previous live, at least before you could say that, well, look, this fighter is exclusive to this network, so making fights will be difficult. You know, like, yeah, there were ops. I don't even really want to say that because Errol wasn't actually exclusive to Showtime or Fox, which is why he used to go back and forth from both. So I don't even want to endorse that shit. All I'm saying is this is not a sides of the street thing, you know? They're trying to make it that as an excuse not to do it. But in reality, it's not that because nobody is telling David, go to Zuffa, fight for a Zuffa belt, sign a contract. Like, no, ain't nobody telling you to do that. The fuck? Nobody is telling you to do none of that, bro. You hiding behind that shit because you just don't want to fight that crazy eyed Australian, bro. Straight up. That's all that is. It's the same old bullshit, man. If you like, you know how it goes, that if the fight has the potential to be a competitive fight and it's somewhat a dangerous fight, 9 times out of 10 the American fighter not gonna want to do it. Straight up. Shakur Stevenson recently said that he doesn't want to go for Undisputed because now he feels it's watered down. So you don't want to follow in Bud's footsteps. You know, it's funny that you the only one saying that. The foreign fighters don't say shit like that. You supposed to be, you know, A, B, C, and D, and you so fucking great, you can't fight for Undisputed, huh? Yeah, okay, bro. Okay. Whatever, whatever. I honestly, I didn't think you were gonna do that anyway. At lightweight, at super lightweight, I didn't think you were gonna do that anyway. Now, how am I, as a consumer, supposed to get excited about your career when you're telling me, oh, I'm not going to fight for Undisputed? Oh, so who are you going to fight? Like, what are you going to do? And it's only the Americans that do shit like, yeah, it's only them. It's only them. Not going to fight for Undisputed. Okay, I guess. All right. So who are you going to fight and when? Oh, I'm not fighting for Undisputed because I feel it's watered down. Okay, who watered it down? Who watered it down? Usyk fought nothing but champions for Undisputed at cruiser and heavy. Who watered it down? If it's watered down, who watered it down? So you have people advocating for the existing framework, the four sanctioning bodies, and the way things have been, so that the American boxer can tell you, yeah, I ain't even going to do that shit. I'm not even doing that shit. So then what are you doing? I had a guy tell me that, oh, Inoue shouldn't be pound for pound because people don't know who he fought. America is bad for boxing. And motherfuckers shouldn't wonder why I say that. The fans are bigoted, prejudicial, ignorant, and most of them are thieves. A lot, not all, because there are still really good journalists out there like Steve Kim, like Marcos Villegas, like Radio Raheem. These are journalists, they are. But there's another section of the media that, bro, y'all part of the promotion, y'all part of the street team. Y'all just here to push agenda, push product, push agenda, push narratives. They had to create the other side of the street to give fighters a scapegoat to duck. What is exactly, Herb? You know, like, we got a great fight this weekend. It shouldn't be a pay-per-view, but it is. But look, we got a great fight this weekend. And it doesn't involve no American fighters. It's two Brits. Two Brits that's willing to get it on. Fabio Wardley could have taken an easier fight. He chose Daniel. Out of the four names that he was given, he literally chose the guy that stands the best chance of beating him. I don't think he did it because he wants to get beat. I think he did it because it pays the most money. But he still chose the guy that stands the best chance of beating him. And then you wonder, why is boxing flourishing in the UK and why is it dying out in America? Well, the Americans don't want to fight. I mean, like, you got to keep it real. Them dudes don't want to fight. They want to get paid top dollar for easy fights, and they don't want you to say nothing about it either. Don't call the shit boring, because then they going to get mad. You know what? Because you're not in there but the sweets. Man, shut that bullshit up. Yo, dog, if you don't fight the rest of the year, that's fucking cool, bro. That is all right. Fucking sweet science, the slick that we, yo, that's fucking great, bro. Hey. Fuck that shit, bro. What it do? Zufaru. He don't want to fight for Undisputed. So no Undisputed at 140 and no Undisputed at 135, which I already didn't think he was going to do. I already didn't think he was going to do that. Yeah, I don't even know, Rigman. When was the Brian Norman fight? Wasn't that like in January or something? That was like this year. Yo, like I said, if Shakur and Devin don't fight for the rest of the year, boo fucking who, bro? Can I get 3 Jai Opetaia fights, Dana White? Yo, on some real shit. For all these Hasadiddy, pound for pound, I'm nice. Yo, let me get some limited fighters then. Because y'all motherfuckers is boring. Y'all some high maintenance hoes. You know what I mean? Y'all cost a lot of money to bore a lot of people. Feel me? Y'all cost a lot of fucking money to bore a lot of fucking people. Let me get 3 Jai Opetaia fights then, you know? Yeah. I want to see motherfuckers get beat up. I'm not trying to look at your jab all night. I'm trying to see motherfuckers get beat up. Shakur wants to be pound for pound #1, but doesn't want to do pound for pound #1 things. No, he doesn't. You like, and they make generalized blanket statements that are not challenged, because the follow-up question would have been, okay, well, you feel that that Undisputed is watered down. Can you name an undisputed champion that watered it down? Be specific. If you're now saying in the 4-belt era that collecting all the belts don't mean nothing, right? When did that happen? Who caused that to happen? Because you telling me that you're not going to do that. Oh, okay. Well, then what are you going to do? What you going to do? Yeah, I want to get Ja versus Haney for the Zuffa belt, bro. And that's American boxing in a nutshell. A lot of guys who want to get paid a lot of money to not do much. And you know, motherfuckers really, there are people out there that don't like my perspective on what needs to happen, because it is to take power from the fighters. Yeah, it is. Because look at what they do when they have it. Look at what they do. They don't want to do this job, you know. Have you ever heard of somebody going into work and they want to do a hard job? No, they don't. But at some point you have to do that, because how else is the machine going to work? If everybody gets to play it safe and make a whole lot of money, how is you supposed to sustain a sport like that? What it do, Jai is avoided.
What's good, Jules?
Ain't shit. Or don't want to be undefeated, bro. Watered down.
What do you call it? Did you Oh, earlier I forgot to send you the fucking thing, bro. This guy I guess out of Argentina. He's a like I guess guess he's a journalist. He said that earlier that that Dimitri Bivol was
Yeah, I heard that.
has
I
a
saw it. I saw it.
yeah.
You talking about I saw it, that preliminary reports is that the number that Jai wants is too high. Preliminary
Yeah.
reports.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, I mean, like, I don't, I don't have a lot of thoughts on that right now. If I'm gonna really believe what is being reported, I would say that okay, if you're hearing that, is that because PBC Benavidez did they make an offer? And is he saying, "Oh, y'all not offering me enough money?" Because that's the only way I could see it. That's the only way I could see him saying, "This is not enough money." He's been getting a turkey bag, so he want a turkey bag. Yeah, pretty
Wait,
much.
wait, Joe, who you talking about? You talking about Dimitri? Because I got someone on Dimitri earlier about from this Argentinian journalist. He said that, which I didn't believe it. Hassan Wells had freaking reposted, and I asked the guy. I said, dude, I said, can you link me any articles? This bullshit, because I said the IBA had already said on March 31st that they're still in negotiations and they're still trying to get this shit running. So
No,
what are you
yeah,
talking
Fernando.
about?
It's Fernando Sabatini. It's Fernando
Yeah,
Sabatini. I saw it. I saw it about a half hour ago. And
yeah,
I didn't think, like I said, I didn't think a lot of it because it's not from Vadim Kornilov, it's not from Eddie Hearn. If the story has any legitimacy, we'll find out about it, 2 3 days, right, when somebody asks somebody who's connected about it.
yes,
But if it
sir.
is true, like I said, the only way I could see that being true is if the PBC made him an offer, and you know what their offers look like Brody, they're not offering you nothing. They sending you a term sheet to fight for the net. Basically, like, yeah, you fighting for the net. No guarantee. You fighting. You getting your guarantee is hope. You know what I mean? Your guarantee is a IOU for real. Like that's why Devin. That's why Devin didn't want to fight Rolly. Like we could feel how we feel, but that is why Devin didn't want to fight Rolly. There's no guarantee. You just you gotta you gotta hope that shit sell. You gotta hope somebody buy that shit. That's what you fighting for. You fighting for hope. So if it was the PBC that just sent an offer to Dimitri, then I would imagine, yeah, I would imagine he would say that because you telling me y'all don't got no money for me. Y'all want me to fight for nothing. You want me to fight for a handshake. Well, you know we not doing that. I could fight better, be even the IBA will pay me. I could fight better beef and the IBA will pay me or Turkey will pay me because the IBA already offered to pay for the better beef fight. If they offering me money and you offering me nothing, well, that makes this a very easy decision to make. They go
Hey,
undefeated.
Jules.
Go
Hey,
ahead,
Jules.
Herb.
Nakatani. He wants a rematch with Inoue. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, man. I don't because that fight it was no damn near Inoue. It was not. It was nothing like that. So if it was like that, then I could do another one. But that was just a really high level chase, a high level chess match. It was just not too much consistent domination in that fight to me. I expected a little bit more, dude, just a little bit more. You
I
know?
would say it right now. Look, right now you're not gonna want it. You feel me? And I think right now most people not gonna want it right after the first one. My thing
Yeah,
is to create the environment where people might start to want it. Imagine if he went in there and did the Cardenas what he did to Maloney, and he did that to
yeah,
Neary, and he did that to Tapales, and he did that to
yeah,
MJ, because that's an important one because Inoue didn't knock out MJ. You got to
yeah.
rebuild that intrigue
See,
because right now, people not gonna want that right now because it is what you say, yo. That was a high level chess match. Nobody got knocked down or nothing, you know. But if you
nobody got
do that, yeah, exact. Nobody got cracked. Well, he did get cracked. Like his orbital did get
crack.
cracked.
I got the perfect rematch for him, Jules. I got the perfect one. Him versus Sebastian Hernandez, part two. Set him
Ain't
Yeah,
tough for
nobody,
that, dude.
ain't
I
nobody gonna do. They ain't gonna do that. Go ahead, undefeated.
I agree with Herb. I wasn't really honestly. We had both monsters fighting on Saturday, but I only saw one monster performance, and that was David. I think the Inoue fight was a letdown. To me, it was a letdown because I think I lost $20 because I think even you said it. I agree with you. Inoue is gonna stop this motherfucker to the body,
Mm,
fold them
mm.
like a lawn chair. And if we're being honest, fucking Junto came up and weight, and he looked like shit. Like this should be an easy fight. and that shit was
Nah,
not easy
no,
for him.
I wouldn't say easy because I never thought it was gonna be easy. What I thought was it's gonna happen suddenly. Like my vision of the fight, right? The way that it looked, that's what I thought. But I thought that, like, I don't know, round 8, round 9, he gonna hit him with a hot one that
Yep.
he don't see, and because he didn't see it, he's gonna go out. That's what I thought would happen. The way that they fought, because I don't know what everybody else thought. Like, what, that Junto's gonna go in there and go crazy? No, of course not. Like, no. The Mexican fighters are willing to take that chance with if you notice, it's the
Yep.
Mexican fighters that are willing to go at him. Like, nah, fuck it, let's just go. But I didn't think Junto was going to do that. Like, nah, Junto is going to try to use his length. He's going to fence. He's not going to go balls to the wall. Only really the Mexican guys is willing to go balls to the wall with Inoue. But I just figured that, you know what? The tension, the pace, and whatever punches do get in, the way that I figured it is Junto's going to take damage. Not a whole lot, but just enough. He's going to get worn down little by little. In round 8, round 9, he's going to get hit with a hot one. That's the only thing that didn't happen, because the way it looked, yeah, that's what I thought it was going to look like. I wasn't expecting a full-on firefight. Actually, him and Bam, that's what that's going to be. And that's why I think, yeah, Bam, you going to get knocked out. One, shout out to my man Alexis. Glad you joined us. I think it's Bam and Inoue is going to be a more fun fight to watch, mostly because Bam doesn't have a choice. You don't have the dimensions to fight from a safe distance. The only way you win, the only way you even land anything, is to go at him. You have to. You're not a big guy. You don't have the luxury of I'm going to fence using my jab and I'm going to be out here with it. Like, nah, you can't do that. You got to go at him. And I think he's going to get knocked out. But I'm going to say this, Undefeated. I was not let down by the Inoue fight because, and look, it's early, especially for you. It was earlier for you than it was for me. For me, I'm already up at that time to put my son on the bus. I'm used to being up at that time. I enjoyed it because it was like watching two really good guys fight. Like Bivol and Better Beef, it was like that. They're like, yeah, like they're canceling each other out in a manner of speaking. Inoue can't land everything he wants. Junto can barely land anything if he wants because they're both good. And when you get two really good boxers, like that's what. Oh, you think I said that shit about the flawed guys? The flawed guys will give you a fun fight before the good guys will, because the good guys are good because they're not flawed, because they don't make that many mistakes for the other guy to capitalize on. I promise you, you're going to love CBS Rosicki. Them guys don't know what defense is. Them do they don't know. Huh?
Yeah, I
Defense.
don't
What you
know.
talking?
I don't know how many fights Inoue has left. I'm pretty sure it's literally like less than 5. I want to see Cardenas rematch with a full camp, just to see how because that was a good fight. That was a good
That
fight, and it was
was.
literally
Yeah,
a
I
year
mean,
and a
like,
half ago.
yeah, but that's like me saying I want to see Sydney Sweeney sit on my face.
Yeah, ain't gonna happen.
I mean, like, not just I keep it real. Like, I don't dream a lot. I don't dream a lot.
Cause
I'm
Keep
a
it
fuck all,
real.
realistic.
fuck all these other guys. I'm tired of Rafa. You don't want to do shit,
And the
bro.
other thing is, I don't want. Yo quiero cosas que puede pasar.
Yep.
Junto versus Cardenas, sign me up.
Oh
Junto
my
versus
god.
Neri, sign me up. I like, lo que yo quiero, mira, de verdad, de
You know,
verdad. Let me, before I pass it to you, Alex. It looks like Ohashi and Inoue wised up. What are we going to go to 2-6 for? ¿Quién está ahí arriba? Ellos no están haciendo nada. They're
Not,
sitting around with their thumb in there. Fuck y'all. Yo, fuck y'all. We not doing this. We're going to stay here. We're going to get money. We're going to fight Bam. And you know what, Inoue, if you could retire undefeated, yo, you earned it. More power to you. No me molesta. Pero lo que yo quiero, before I pass it to Alexis, Junto, I want you to take over the throne. And the way that you can do that, fight Marlon Tapales, fight MJ Akmadalia, fight Luis Neri, fight Hermon Cardenas. That's how you do that. He can take over Inoue is my guy. He did a $32 million gate and he weighs 122 pounds. La gente no entienden que, yo, that's fucking incredible. Super bantamweights generating a $32 million gate. When has that ever happened? Not in my lifetime. So I want that to keep going. And yeah, Junto is the best guy to take over after Inoue is out of here. Go ahead, Alexis.
So that's a great segue, man. I'm glad that you guys brought up Cardenas up because, like I said, it was a great fight. Uh, uh, um, the Cardenas Inoue fight, you said it won't happen again, but then you followed that by saying that you want to see Junto against Cardenas. I'll tell you right now, they do Junto against Cardenas. Cardenas emerges victorious in a spectacular way. He might get that rematch. So because that would build that towards that. Now the other thing that happened is that I believe that what we witnessed with the Junto Nakatani and him taking on the Inoue. First of all, I thought he was going to get demolished. Honestly, based on how he performed his last fight.
Same.
Um, but since he didn't, one curious thing happened, and what happened was very rare, where you see a fighter become greater after defeat, right?
Yeah.
Because the way that he was celebrated just for surviving, and the performance that it was a high level technical fight, the way he performed in it, it was admirable. He didn't run, but it was enough for him to be celebrated coming out the ring. The other thing that rarely happens, so his name actually
Yeah.
got bigger after defeat. The other thing is that one of the best things that happened right after the fight is Todd Dubois, Bob Arum, putting the kibosh on 126.
Yep.
Boom. Junto's not moving up. I mean, Nakatani's not coming up. He's
No,
gonna
yeah.
stay at 122. Yeah, Inoue is not coming up. He's gonna be staying at 122. Bam Rodriguez, you're up next. Whatever. Or they're gonna build towards that. Um, that quickly was followed. I think that announcement now puts that 126. They're gonna have to just do their thing. I'm hearing Angelo Leo and Shushu Carrington bickering back and forth, this and that and the other. Um, I think TR under this new contract they control enough for 126. Where they got three of the four
Que ellos
belts.
son unos lambones. Ellos
Right.
son lambones. Like, no. Rafael's been champion for over 2 years. Leo's
So
been champion for over a year. A la vaina, like, yeah, fuck out of here,
I
bro.
I
Do
want to I
something.
want to see that. I want to see that whole thing. Even the guy without the belt with that the Dominican kid Santana. John Carlos Santana, I believe, that he's been calling
Mm-hmm.
out chasing Shushu. They're
Mm-hmm.
all TR's got the run at 126. Make that all happen, right? Make that all happen. I would like to see Shushu get to Leo. I would like to see Espinoza get to what's his name that he was supposed to fight, but then he was thinking about
Figueroa. Figueroa's gonna
Figueroa.
hold it up, bro. Figueroa's gonna hold it up. Like the dude is like, you just gotta call it what it is. Like I'm just not with this. De que vamos a lavar the fighters. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Ese tipo no quiere pelear. It's not complicated. You don't want to fight people from your own weight. Tú lo que quieres esperar a little Japanese guy to move up and what kind of bitch ass shit is that?
Would you
Like
would you be adverse to him trying to go back down to 122 and fight
who
Nakata?
Brandon?
Yeah, because he came up from 122.
Yeah,
Suppose he
but he,
says, "I'll go down." What would you
maning,
say?
la vaina es que mira, Brandon is not a good fighter. You got going for you
Period.
what
Yeah.
what Rafael has going for him, what Fundora has going for him, what Benavidez has going for him. You're just a guy who's really tall for your division, who's exploiting that. That's all you are. You're not a good boxer. I saw the Mixayo, but you're not a good boxer. Ahora, credit. You went to Liverpool. You knocked out Nick Ball. You do deserve credit for that. Like, yeah, you deserve credit for that. But look at what you're doing now. Now that you got a belt, tú lo que quieres gastar
Yeah.
tiempo.
He
That's
should he
that's what
should
you.
he should build on that. I'd give him
Yeah.
I'd give him one tune-up fight, and then he's got
No,
a
you could no, you
a
could give him
homecoming
a tuna.
fight.
No, está bien. I'm not against that. That if you say you're gonna get a tuna fight, but also I deal in reality a lot, Alexis. I deal in reality, ¿verdad? Does the PBC have money to give him a homecoming fight?
Negative.
So tú lo que quieres es gastar tiempo. That's what it is. If they had money to get you a fight, I don't know, in
That'd be
June,
different.
está bien. Yeah, but they don't. No, they don't. That their money to get you a homecoming fight and to keep you busy is not there. So tú lo que vas a say, you're gonna sit on that belt and nothing's gonna happen, and people are gonna call you. It's a waste of time, and that's why like a common theme that I've been pushing here on the channel the last year is tú no ves que the fighters have too much autonomy. If you leave it to the entry-level employees, they simply won't work. Nobody
Well, let me
goes into work and says, oh, yeah, I want to have a hard day today, or I want to have a hard fight. But, well, people aren't interested in easy fights, fellas.
let me ask you a question. To that end, what belt does he have again? WBA?
BA.
Okay. So who's coming up behind him?
There's an Argentine, and I haven't seen him, Alexis. I haven't seen him fight. I just know his record. He's got some height, he's got some length. He has a lot of fights and a lot of knockouts. I would wager that the reason that Brandon was allowed to surpass him is because he's dangerous. They only do that when the guy's dangerous. They let Rolly fuck around and jerk off and play with shit because Giasov can beat him. Because Giasov can't. If Giasov gets that fight, and he's nothing special, by the way, but he's good in it. Like, yes, he would knock out. ¿Tú no viste lo que el viejo le hizo? Ishmael Barroso.
Right. Yeah.
Giasov is an Olympian and a silver medalist, and yes, he knocks people out. Like, yeah, he can fight. Like, you would put him in the mean machine tier. No, he's not Crawford, but he's capable and he hits hard and he can box a bit. And they know that Giasov would knock him out. So what do? They let him, go play around, give him a yellow crayon. It's the same with Brandon. They let Brandon skip. Mirko Cuello is the interim champion. He was already interim champion before Brandon even got in that spot. But what did they do? They didn't let Mirko Cuello go fight Nick Ball. They instead let Brandon do it because Mirko is dangerous. It gives me the impression Mirko might be dangerous. He might be, and he's not worth a lot of money because this is what they do when a guy's not worth a lot of money, but he could fight. This is what they do. So, and that was Brandon's problem. Good.
I'm sorry. Yeah, one more thing. Let me ask you something, Julius. WBA is PBCs. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Why are the WBA in bed with a broke company? What do they get out of it?
Yo te lo voy a decir. They're not that intelligent, the WBA. But I think for them, they look at it as being the lesser of two evils, if that makes sense. If we help you, you'll help us. If we continue to help you out, get your fighters belts, because we benefit from an American having a belt, or rather an American-based fighter, I should say. We benefit, we make a lot of our money from the United States. We have been for years. If you notice, most of the money that the
they're
WBA...
not putting on fights.
Bueno,
PBC's got no money.
Nobody said they're smart. Alexis, nobody said they're smart. Nobody said they're smart.
You think so? You're saying that WBA hasn't gotten the memo yet? Is that what you're saying?
Ellos están así, manín. Ellos están así. Fingers crossed with their asshole clenched. But I'll tell you something, and I talked about this about 2 months ago on a different live. If the money really dries up and they know it's dry and shit is not working and shit is not working, they'll shift the focus over to the UK and start giving them those belts. That's what they'll do. Because there's money over there.
There is.
There's money over. You could what you're doing, your arrangement with the PBC, you can have that arrangement with Frank. With Frank's boys, with his middleweights, with his super lightweight, because Frank has a budget. Frank has money. Frank does shows on a regular basis. Just look for it. That the WBA will likely, within the next 2 years, reach a similar arrangement with a UK promoter, whether it's Matchroom or Frank. I think it'll be Frank. I think it will be Frank before Eddie. Good.
So the WBA, it won't be what benefits Al anymore. It'll be somebody else controlling that. And but like I was going to tell you, dudes, all right. So now the peanuts on top of the dollars they gave Thurman. I guess he paid a couple of card notes, a couple of bills, and money started to get thin. So he wants to go back to Australia now.
He want to fight Nikita Tszyu. He wants to fight Nikita Tszyu. You know this, Herb. Everybody on the panel knows this. He couldn't have made much of anything getting beat up by Sebastian because nobody bought the fight. They're getting paid off the net. It's GoFundMe boxing. When you have a TV network behind you, then you can do guarantees like, okay, we're going to guarantee you 1 and hopefully you make something else. Guarantee you 2 and hopefully you make something else. That's not what they're doing. No, this is GoFundMe boxing. We're going to put it together, cross our fingers, clench our assholes, and hope somebody buys this. But nobody bought that shit. Nobody bought, come on, dog. Who the fuck you think bought Thurman Fundora? Who? Besides
the fans
you. The real shit is I just realized that even I didn't have to buy it because of the CIA link. Even I didn't have to buy it.
He probably think he got a leg up being that he been to Australia before already and fought. And he see the arrows going out there. He probably said, I deserve to go back out there too, man. Fuck that. I'm gonna get me a fight.
But you know what? He does though, in a manner of speaking, it's the smartest thing he could do. No Limit is No Limit is on much more stable ground than the PBC. Much more stable. They do shows on a regular basis. They are the big promoter of their continent. They're the big promoter. So, and their shows are on Foxtel, so there is TV money. And for the bigger shows, the government gets involved. Alexis, you'll remember, that wasn't No Limit, but it's just the framework. When Jeff Horn fought Manny Pacquiao, the government paid for that.
Right.
For the big shows, the government will literally step because it's a big cultural event. It's good for the economy, blah, blah, blah. So for the bigger shows, they'll get involved. So the smartest thing Keith Thurman can do is go the Winky Wright route. Remember, Winky took a tour of Europe and shit. He was abroad for a while getting money. Yeah, that's the smartest thing you could do, Thurman, because you can't. The only thing you can do in America is get your ass beat. The fuck else you gonna do?
Fucking government want to pay for fights. They don't want to give me SSI, but they want to pay for fucking fights. Wow.
Yo, shit is real out there, bro. Shout out to motherfucking Luisito. I'm having an off day. Can you put Real Diddy Talk? Yeah, I got you right now with the Real Pickles, bro. Got you right now. Let me. You got to be entertained, bro. Shout out to Real Talk, wherever he is. Shout out to Real Talk, bro. You know what I mean? But yeah, the smartest thing for Thurman to do is to go back to Australia and base himself up.
The hell is that?
That's Real Talk, bro. You know what I'm saying? But the smartest thing he can do, go back to Australia. Honestly, that would be the most intelligent thing you could do. And not just Australia. Lend yourself. You only have 2 losses. And Americans treat losses like they're fucking cardinal sins. Like, no, I've lost. I am nothing now. No, no, bro. You can go to the UK and get money. Yeah, I'm Keith Thurman and I'll fight Adam Azim. I'm Keith Thurman and I'll fight Conor Ben. I'm Keith Thurman and I'll whatever Brit you got that you think he's hot fucking shit, send him my way, And I'll be your Huckleberry. You can get money that way, but the American ego is just so inflated that yes, you have 2 losses, but you can still fight, can you? And for them, like you'll get a Brit, and Denzel Bentley is a good example. Denzel Bentley has a loss on his record, right? He fought Yanni Beck about 2-3 years ago, but he's back in the mix. He's back in the shit. He's on the cusp of a world title opportunity, and he has a loss. because he didn't lose his fire. I'm a fighting man. I don't know how to do nothing else. I'm not a carpenter. I don't do roofs. I fight. So I gotta keep fighting. Whereas the American, no, I want to be a rapper. I wanna be real estate. I wanna look at Broner. He's doing homoerotic shit on Kick. He's looking at that young man's ass. Did y'all see that shit? The
I
Dave,
did.
he's looking at that young
Yeah.
dude's butt,
And
bro.
and he stayed laying down like, yo, what the fuck?
Yo, dog.
Wow.
Yo, dog. But that's like legitimately that in a word, Keith Thurman's position is not actually as bad as it's made out to be or as it looks. It only appears that way because he's an American. Another fighter from another country, yeah, we got to go back to work. If he's a Russian, who cares? Karen Chukadzian has 2 losses. You think he gives a fuck? He's about to fucking fight Patty Donovan in an IBF eliminator. He gives no fucks. Yeah. I lost. Okay, I got to get it back. Yeah. Fuck it. We got to do it again. Russian fighter, Mexican fighter, Australian fighter, fucking British fighter. They don't care about that shit. It's only these motherfuckers that care about that shit. They lose 1-2 fights. Oh, yeah, I am finished. It is over for me. I must fade into the abyss.
I'm not Floyd.
I'm not. Oh shit!
That's basically it.
Yo, dog, that's what.
I
Yo,
am
dog,
not
I was looking
Floyd.
so hard for that. I'm not
You
Floyd.
know, that's
Oh
it.
no. Oh shit. But yeah, that's really it. Like, you have 2 losses. That's nothing. Derek Chisora has about 13 and he makes more money than you. Literally, he makes more money than you, Keith Thurman. And he makes more money than most American boxers. I'm talking about well-known American he has an estate, acres of land, a farm. The man is filthy rich with 13 losses because he understands the assignment. Win or lose, you know what I'm actually here to do.
Put on a show.
There you go. And that's what he does. No matter how many times you send his ass out there, you're going to get something for your money. You know, so he gets it. And Keith, I'm not telling you to stick around till you have 13 losses, but you only have 2. You only have 2. And while Sebastian was too much for you, if I were you, and it's like you're not that smart. You know, going to Australia is smart, but you know what's even smarter? Going to Zuffa. That's even smarter. Go to Zuffa. What? Connor Ben's
No,
over there. That
stop.
guy
No, we don't like
Divine.
Zuffa.
Go to Zmufa. You go to Zmufa. Like, that guy sucks. Listen, if he doesn't get the Ryan Garcia fight, you think he's still going to boil down to 147? He's going to. You can wrangle. If I'm Thurman, I'm going to Zmufa. I'm going to talk to people. I just want to. And you have to humble yourself too, because you're the one that needs help. You need to get back in the winner's bracket, Keith Thurman, and you need to fight on a regular basis. They can provide you with all of that. They can provide you with stability. So go over there, you know. But if you want to let Nikita Tszyu, who's bigger and younger than you, and he punches hard like his father, like his brother, if you want to just let him fuck you up for a single check, hey, you could do that too. You can do that.
Thurman's still PBC though.
Well, I mean, technically going to Australia and fighting Nikita Tszyu falls under the PBC umbrella, even though PBC would not be the ones financing the fight or promoting the show in any way.
What I'm saying is that he's not free to sign with Zuffa, I don't think.
Oh, hello, vaina, maning. Look at David Morrell. He's fighting on a Queensbury show this weekend. ¿Cómo que no? If you want to leave, you could. La vaina con ellos. David Morrell was PBC. ¿Cuándo es la última vez he fought on a PBC show?
With who? David Morrell is el tipo ese.
El cubano. The one that David Benavidez fought on pay-per-view 2 years ago.
No. I'm saying he's not straight PBC though. He's with that guy that has David Benavidez.
No, he's not with Samson
Luka.
Lukowicz. He's
He's
not.
not
He's with
Lukowicz?
Louis. No. He's with Louis DeCuba Senior.
Oh,
Is
okay.
his guy? Look, and no, pero
Oh, so that
chequea
is
también que
PBC.
yeah, he's PBC, pero the guys who want to work are gonna work. The guy, yeah, like the guys are. David Morrell has boxed on what 2 Turkey LL Chic shows, and now he's boxing on a Queensbury show, and before that, he was gonna box on a Matchroom show. You go where the work is. Frankie Sanchez is fighting in fucking Egypt against Richie Torres. The ones who want to work are gonna work. Luis Ortiz, he popped up in some fucking hole in the wall promotion.
Luis Ortiz is still fighting?
In Colombia.
Maní. Right? Like,
Oh,
está
wow.
peleando el tipo. The point is that
I'm
the
back
guys
with
who
Willie
want to
S.
work, the guys who want to work are gonna work, bro.
Remember when I was on my Luis Ortiz shit? Oh
Yo,
man, I love that guy, man.
Yo,
That's-
listen, bro. And you know, those were really fun times. Like, you don't know that the good old days are the good old days when they're the good old days, because that
For
whole
real.
Wilder shit was really fucking fun, man. Like, I enjoyed that shit. Like, I did.
Yeah.
I
Yo,
don't
Bills.
get passionate. I don't get emocional over esto mamagüevo. Like, man, fuck you, Shakur. Don't fight then. You don't want to dispute?
Yeah,
Then don't want it.
yeah.
Then I don't want it for you.
Yeah.
I don't want you to have it. Fuck you. And fuck Devin. Right? And
Still
fuck
waiting
Teofimo.
He's still waiting on Tank when Tank is not. He's not gonna see you. I don't understand.
Yo, de verdad que no, la otra vaina. Look, that fight, you know, like that fight, the fight, I don't care about the fight and how it's gonna look. I know how it's gonna look. I've always known how it's gonna look, and it's not gonna be no va a ser gran cosa. It's not. It's not gonna be a fun fight to watch. It's gonna be a better version of Shakur versus Teofimo. Slightly better. A lot is not gonna happen. It's gonna be a snoozer, bro. And the only fun part is Sunday is the fun part. Sunday morning is the fun part. Like, I don't care about the fight. I just want to talk a lot of fucking shit, and I want to rub it in until it hurts, you know. But I don't care about the fight. Like, man, fuck that fight. And that fucking fight ain't gonna happen anyway. So who cares? That fucking fight ain't gonna happen, bro. It's not even that important anymore because his fan base is starting to go away, and you're kind of seeing it within the YouTube boxing community, or at least I am. A lot of those kids who really, really like Tank, and they got older. A lot of them. I told people when Wilder loses, a lot of YouTube channels are going to shut down. I can think of at least 3 big ones that shut down between Wilder losing and Spence losing. Yeah, they literally stopped making boxing videos. Literally. The LDBC, wow. You rarely hear about. Don't you know? You rarely hear about the LDBC anymore. Yeah, because they lost. It's not what it was. Like, no, it's not. Like, now it moved away from the LDBC to the I'm not hating on these guys, by the way. Get your money, but like Showbiz is the iShow Speed of boxing content. Like, yeah, that's him. He's the iShow Speed of boxing content creators, and you have other people that they're going the influencer route in the sense that whatever the wave is, they go with that. They're not analyzing boxing anymore. They're not breaking down fights anymore. That's what boxing channels used to be. You break down the fights and credibility and merit and blah, blah, blah. It's not even about that anymore. They bounce from one bad take to another bad take to another bad take. And so long as it moves the algorithm, it doesn't even matter whatever it is. And that's where content creation is now. But the LDBC, that's not even, it's just not even a thing anymore, bro.
You'll see a few of them still hanging around, hanging on to Devin's back pockets and shit. Maybe 1 or 2, still felt.
Yeah, for a little while, but that shit, they're gonna get older. Is the thing that things. I've been on your planet about 500 years. Yes, I have.
And I used to be subscribed to the Boxing Boys, but I unsubscribed around 2014 when Ness was dick riding Danny, and he said that Danny
Oh,
did enough to win that Mauricio fight. Lara, I think it was
Yeah.
not
no,
um,
Mauricio, in
Her-
Puerto Rico.
Herrera, yeah,
Herrera.
and Herrera
Herrera.
in Puerto Rico. He did enough, bro. Get the fuck out of here. And
Get the
now with the
fuck.
No,
whole Devin,
y la vaina nueva es, mira, he jumped up 24 and you know, I mean,
Hey, listen.
I have a lot of let me say this. I have a lot of respect for Nesta because he's one of the originators. I'm always gonna have a lot, and there's a mutual respect there because I've corresponded with Nesta on several occasions over the years. But you know, he's very Americentric, so you just got to take whatever he says with a pinch of salt. That what he's saying for his American audience.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Alexis.
No, I was just gonna go back to that Herrera fight. I was actually in Puerto Rico when that fight took place, and I'm telling everybody. I think you've heard me say this before. That was the day that Danny Garcia lost Puerto Rico or lost any chance of gaining Puerto Rico. Because up to then, he was supposed to be. You know what that fight was supposed to be? What Al Heyman and PBC were trying to. At that time, they were powerful. They had all their money.
Yeah.
Their coffers were still
Yep.
full, and they were able to make that fight in Puerto Rico. He was trying to remake Macho Camacho going to Puerto Rico and fighting the Mexican that he beat up, or he was who Macho fought that day when he went back to the island, kicked his ass. It was a famous Ruben something, I don't know, but it was a really good name that Macho Camacho beat in Puerto Rico, and that was his return to the island because at that time Macho Camacho, he speaks Spanish and everything. He was really, really, really the pura cepa
He was
Puerto
really
Rican.
flamboyant. He was really
And really
flamboyant,
Puerto
Macho.
Rican. But at that time, I don't know if you guys if you guys old enough to remember, there was a question if he was controversy, if he was like one of these New York Ricans and not
N-
really Puerto Rican, because there's a whole thing there, you
No,
know.
pero de verdad, tú
But
sabes que he was. You know he was a New Eureka. Like he was a
ex-
New Eureka.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
he
But what
was.
I'm
Like
saying, that was the fight that crossed him over in Puerto Rico and got him his because he of the performance he put on over there, and that's what PBC was trying to do. Al Heyman was trying to do because trying to remake that Don King formula. Don King put that
I
fight
I
there.
I I I, I would say that what I thought over the years, I didn't. You know, maybe they were trying to make Macho Camacho like the PBC. I thought he was like budget Kodo. That's what I thought. I thought he was supposed to be.
You mean Danny Garcia?
Danny. I
Well,
thought they were
yeah,
trying to
but that's
make
what they
budget
were trying to do,
Kodo.
budget Cotto. But what I'm saying, that instance, that big fight of putting it there, I'm telling you, if you look back at that fight, you'll see what I mean. And the thing is that he shit the bed because them Puerto Rican fans, I don't care if you're Puerto Rican, you lost that fight. And that's
yep.
when he first of all, he couldn't speak Spanish because he flubbed saying Boricua. He couldn't even say Boricua.
Te lo
He
voy a
couldn't even
decir.
say Boricua.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be real with you. It's because he's a Philly Rican and not a New Yorican. Mira,
True
you're gonna
indeed.
find very few people. You're gonna find very few fucking people that are more happy to be who they are than a fucking New Yorican. Like, bro, they got Puerto Rico in their eyelids, bro. Like, everything's Puerto Rico, and they're gonna let you know because they're very proud. Danny wants to be black more than he wants to be Puerto Rican.
Facts.
Like
Yep.
if we're gonna keep it real, like yeah, that's why you were never in tune with them. You know, like you look like the typical LES dude. You do. You look like the typical LES dude, the typical La Marqueta dude, typical dude on fucking Fordham Road, wherever the Puerto Ricans be at.
Hmm.
You look like them dudes, but
Hmm.
you not as proud. You not as like you know the motherfuckers in the Bronx. Like, nah, they gonna let you know they Puerto Rican. Like, yeah, they are. Like,
Yeah.
it's on the hood of the car, bro. It's on the
Yeah.
windshield. It's on the rear views. It's on the bumper. Puerto Rico, yo, they eating Puerto Rico cereal, bro. Little Puerto Rican flags with fucking with milk. Little Puerto Rico, right? Like, but they're very proud. With
Mhm.
you cared more about, and you could see it though. Like, well, you were leaning more into the hip hop thing, and you kid like you were leaning really into that, and it's like, yeah, you don't even like, yeah, you Puerto Rican because your dad, you know, and you, even your dad is like that
And your
kind of
dad ain't
like
even Puerto Rican or like that.
It's
right,
just
like
because he
yeah,
couldn't.
like
Just because he couldn't speak Spanish, a lot of
no, it's not just that, it's not
It's a
just that.
little
Like
bit
I'm
more
telling
than
you,
that.
if you go to the Bronx, listen, I could spit in the wind and hit a Bronx bitch that don't speak a lick of fucking Spanish, right? But they love their Puerto Rican roots. The paraphernalia and the culture still resonates in other ways, not
The
exclusive to the
music, everything.
language.
He
no,
wasn't
I know
into
that.
Spanish music at all. He wasn't
Uh,
trying to be
Right,
down
right.
with the reggaeton
Yeah,
players and
like
none of
he
it.
trying to be down with Beanie Siegel, not
Yeah.
you know, like
No.
you
Not
there's
Tego
nothing
Calderon.
He could have
exactly
been down with
like
Stevie Black.
you know, like you should have been able to jump on that wave if anything, like because Puerto Rico was popping at that time. But like I said, Danny cared more about emulating black culture than his own Puerto Rican culture, which is why he was never in tune with those people. Like, yeah, like that's really what it was. Like, it's just kind of taboo to say that, but you know, you know, it's not taboo for me because well, I'm not Puerto Rican. I ain't saying nothing bad. I ain't saying nothing bad about nobody, really. I'm just
Yeah.
saying you don't have your
The
hands
truth.
on the pulse. You don't have your hands on the pulse of your people. Xander does. You
Yup.
don't.
Facts.
Xander
Facts.
does. You don't. That's why Bad Bunny, Super Bowl, right? Who's in the shit? Fucking Xander, right? Y también Emiliano, he was there. Shout out to Emiliano, right? You can see the people that are in tune. You can see the boxers that are in tune con su gente. And Danny, you're the weird kid that sits in the back of the class that people don't know your name, but they remember you. Like you're that
So,
guy.
David Benavidez is more in tune with the Mexican than Danny ever was with the Puerto
I
Rican.
would say I would say yes. I would concede that yeah. Even David has his hands on the pulse of his people more.
Yeah.
Danny has 6 toes undefeated. What the fuck?
and they hairy toes too.
Like my, how the fuck
Yo,
you gonna
Jules.
sell bitches a do like y'all should have never like and you know they. How would we know that he has fucking 6 toes? Because they fucking told us. You think you gonna sell bitches a freak dude with 6 fucking toes? Like, nah, this not gonna work. It's not gonna work, bro. This so Hills have eyes,
Yo,
motherfucker.
Jules.
Good.
That's what do you call? I was gonna ask because I wasn't here. I was doing some other stuff because I just got a sparring. But if Danny Swift Garcia would have beaten Eric Morales the first time, do you think that would have changed his career or no? Not really.
Wouldn't have?
If he would have beat who?
No, no.
He beat him both
Eh,
times.
Yeah.
he did.
Eric never
I
beat Danny.
I
He fought
fucking I
because remember
fucking
Wait,
Danny
I,
wait, wait,
fought.
wait, wait,
Remember
wait.
Danny fought. Wait. Remember Danny fought an old Eric like that. Come on, that wasn't really Eric. That was an
bro,
old
and
Eric.
the
Hold on,
Come
hold
way
on.
on.
the way his father
I'm actually
Angel,
tripping.
he
Never
was
mind.
like, oh, we beat the Hall of Famer. Like, bro, he's old. What the fuck are you
Look at me
talking
gustó
about?
is when Danny. You remember that fight undefeated that Danny tried
Yeah.
for some punches and Eric was like,
Oh yeah, swinging at the wind and shit.
like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't count Danny's win over. Yo, dog, that's like yo, you know Anthony Vieira beat Chop Corley, right? Like, yeah, like when he was fucking 50. That shit don't
Yeah.
count. Like, come on, that shit don't count.
You know, beat Danny up on the low, motherfucking Lamont Peterson.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah,
He did
He
that.
PBC
did. I remember that.
robbed him.
Yeah.
That was really
Did Danny
because
ever fight?
the Herrera fight and the Peterson fight was in proximity of each other. One came right before, right after the other. You know, that's when everybody started looking at Danny as food. Remember, that's when Keith Thurman started looking at him. Everybody at 47 started looking at him like Danny has to be the most successful C+ fighter in the fucking history of modern boxing because that dude is not good, bro.
He
Him
was
beating him.
blessed. Yeah, he was blessed to fight a chinless Amir Khan. That he was
And
getting
the
his ass
only
whooped in the first
y
round.
oye la vaina que the only reason that him beating Amir Khan was even a deal or a mildly is because they thought you were gonna lose. That's why you were the underdog. You know, Danny was the underdog going into that fight. That was the only reason it was a big deal because they didn't think you were gonna win. Congratulations, pero yo, you didn't.
Fucking
Bradis Prescott did it better. He did it in a round. and he did it before you.
Timothy
That's-
Bradley be making fun of his
that's
no
crazy.
look hook. He put his head down and throw that wild hook,
I
a
know.
no look hook. Timothy Bradley be clowning him
And he
about that
closes
shit.
and he closes eyes when he does it. like he's swatting at a wasp.
But
Like
what do you call it?
yeah.
Did Danny ever fight Victor Posto or no? I'm asking because I
No,
haven't
No,
he
he
seen
paid
ducked
him.
him.
No. He ducked him. He paid him to step aside. He ducked
I'm,
him.
I'm I'm glad that motherfucker lost
Oh, yeah.
every important welterweight fight in his career. Sean,
The,
Keith, Spence after the wreck. Every fight he lost.
Man.
let me tell you something secret. Danny Garcia is the best indicator that Al Heyman didn't know boxing. Because if Al Heyman knew boxing, you wouldn't have wasted that effort and that money on Danny. There was another welterweight who was treated like a red-headed stepchild who was a better fighter than most of them and a more entertaining fighter than most of them, but he didn't get that love, and that was Sean.
Sean Porter.
You never saw a boring Sean. You never saw a boring Sean Porter fight. You didn't like no Sean's fight. He might win and he might lose, but it ain't gonna be boring. It ain't. Brook
He
fight
was
was
the
good.
best
The
of them.
Broner
He
fight
was
was
pretty.
good. The
He was pretty
Malinaji
good.
fight was good. The
He was
Spence fight was great.
The
How about
great one was
But
that
he was
Thurman one in 2015, and it was free.
yeah. That was a good
Did he ever
fight.
fight
Honestly,
Kell
that
Brook
was
or
a
no?
really good fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
He looked
fought Kell
sloppy with
Brook. He lost to Kell Brook. He lost to IBF. Sean
But yeah,
suffered his first loss to Kell Brook.
Porter,
Damn.
Thurman deserved an immediate rematch. That's the one thing that the PBC never even understood. Never understood the art of when timing. When something deserves an immediate rematch, you do it. You know why? Because that second fight is gonna build the winner into a star.
Heyman
That's
is
what the
not
Danny.
second fight's gonna do.
And money
Heyman
was on.
is not Heyman is not a boxing guy, and there's a lot of tells that like you're not a boxing guy. You looked at boxing through a musical lens, a brand lens. You don't understand that you can't treat these fighters like those kinds of commodities because they're too unstable. You keep acting like you have time. That's what gives away that you're not a boxing guy. Like you don't have time. He could lose his next fight, and then what? He could lose his next fight, or worse, you're going to fuck off lots of money to keep him safe so that he doesn't lose his next fight and you don't make a profit, because that's what you did with Danny. Bro, Danny was getting like 2 mil for like Samuel Vargas. Ivan Red 2 mil for Ivan Redcatch. That's that's crazy. And y'all did that shit for years with that guy. And then when you
Crazy.
doing that dumb shit with enough fighters, bro, well, it ain't hard to see how the Waddle and Reed money ran out. It ain't hard. Give him this guy 2 mil, this guy 3 mil to fight fucking straight up Star-Kissed tuna cans, bro. Straight up. So
But remember how talking about Porter, right? That's when I really realized, which is a damn shame, what happened to Kell Brook, how he took on Gennady Golovkin for no fucking reason. That dude, the way he controlled Sean Porter, that fight, it was brilliant. He was a brilliant fighter at 147, man.
yo, te lo voy a decir. It's sort of a hot take because Kell Brook doesn't have the strongest of resumes outside of his win over Sean Porter. That's mostly because he was ducked, by the way. That is literally
By
because he was ducked.
PBC, exactly.
But
I lost.
they didn't want him, but he
I
would have
lost.
beat Keith Thurman. He would have beat Keith Thurman.
Of course.
Yeah,
He'd
he
have
would have
I
beat
taken
Keith
lost.
all of
I
those
Thurman.
lost.
guys out.
I lost
All of them.
$200 on that Sean Porter
I
fight
heard
versus Kell Brook.
his name floated by Floyd's desk too. Floyd ain't just push it off his desk. He ain't want nothing with him.
You see what Floyd did? Floyd did the slick shit. Kell Brook is a hell of a fighter. Like he gave him his flowers and shit. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be
Yeah.
nice to you because I don't want to fight you. I'm gonna be nice to you
Yeah.
though, because you won. Remember, he was one belt away from undisputed after the Pacquiao fight. People tend to forget that the Pacquiao fight was a unification match. There were 3 of the 4 titles on the line. The only one that wasn't on the line was the one that
Was
Kell
Kell
had.
Brooks? Really?
Yep, IBF title.
Wow.
IBF title. The WBO, the WBA, and the WBC were all on the line. Manny brought his WBO, and Floyd brought the WBA and the WBC. The only one that wasn't on the line was the IBF. Kel had it at the time. And right after that, that's when that famous line, yeah, Kel Brock is a hell of a fighter. He's a hell of a fighter. Why do you think he mentioned him? It's like, I know what this is, but I give you grace because you're in your mid-30s and you're on your way out. So I give you grace, but you know what that is. I'm not fighting this British guy.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either. I didn't realize that.
Go look at it. I does this shit, bro. I'm trying to tell you. Yeah, I does this shit. That was for 3 of the 4 major titles. And Floyd was only 1 belt away from undisputed, but you would have had to fight Kel. You can fight this big, young, strong guy. Remember, and all of you know this. Floyd didn't really fight real welterweights. Man, he's not a real welterweight. He's not. None of the Marquez, Ghost. These are not real welterweights. Brooke, and you could listen. You say whatever you want. All I know is Brooke ain't no little guy that moved up. Brooke was a welterweight. He's not a little guy that moved up. He's that's all he ever was. Welterweight. If you look at Floyd's entire era of fighters that he fought at 147, all of these is little dudes that moved up. When you fought Cotto at 154, Cotto's a little dude that moved up. He's not a real junior middleweight. He's not. The real junior middleweights is Sergio Martinez, Erislan de Lara, Paul Williams, Antonio Margarito. Why do you think Margarito kicked his ass up and down? It's a big guy. See? Cotto's a little guy. Cotto's not a real, was never a real junior middleweight. Floyd's whole era was a whole bunch of little guys that moved up and fought each other. The real physical dimensions of a welterweight, the textbook welterweight, is Sugar Ray Leonard in between 5'8" and 5'10". Those are the real physical dimensions of a welterweight, between 5'8", 5'10", 75-inch wingspan. That's not Floyd. Floyd ain't 5'8". Yo, dog, Floyd is 5'7" barefoot. Manny is 4'11", bro. He the same height as Lil Kim. These guys is not big guys. Floyd's whole era of welterweights that he fought were not actually welterweights. Like, no, they weren't. The era that Crawford was in, those were welterweights. Like Thurman, Thurman is a welterweight. Porter is a welterweight.
Where did Andre come from? 40?
I can't remember. Did Berto campaign lighter than
47? I think he was 40.
Listen, we've already spent too much time on Andre Berto.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's
He just came up.
It's enough of that shit. It's enough of that
I did not see us talking about Andre Berto, bro, in 2026. I did not see that happening.
You know what I'm saying? That's like saying crazy. Bruce Seldon. That's like saying Bruce Seldon. Like
We've already said
that's like saying
Andre
Bruce Seldon, WBA champion. What?
God, damn,
I'm just sitting here imagining Andre Berto may have been listening to your channel and heard his name. You said that shit.
Hey, yo, Joe, I just looked it up. Andre Berto,
That's hilarious.
Man, fuck Andre Berto. He's a hype job himself, man.
Yes, he is. For real.
No, listen, like because listen, I've maintained this for 7 or 8 years. This channel is not for me to be friends with boxers. It's for fight fans to have a place to talk about boxing. For the guys that want to be friends with Javante and they want to go with Ryan to get a haircut, you got to go somewhere else, bro. I don't give a fuck about none of them dudes, bro. I don't.
Freaking show Jiv the adult.
Right?
Yeah, who gives a fuck about Andre Berto that they could be like, oh, bro, I'm gonna go buy a ticket to go see Andre Berto. Like, for what?
My God, you got people.
Andre the Ghost Berto.
You got people high-fiving Demetrius Andrade out here, bro. It's a fucking madness.
walking and interviewing at the same time. Like, wow.
Like, that's not me. Like,
that fool was a
¿por
big
qué?
mic job too.
¿Por qué? But ¿por qué? Why? The fighters come and go. I have already seen some of the greatest fighters the sport has ever seen come and go. They come and go. They're not, I don't say it to marginalize them, but I'm just saying that, dog, 5-6 years ago, the fucking Charlo brothers was hot shit. Now, fuck we talking about them for? Fuck. Spence, entiende. 4 years ago, that's not that long ago. Errol Spence was a huge name. 4 years later, Spence has to go to Australia to get paid. Yeah, you gotta, you do. If you tried to do that same fight here in America, it's not gonna sell nothing. You and Tim, I ain't gonna sell nothing.
Nothing.
You gotta go to Australia to get paid now.
PBC was like, yo, Amazon, like, come on, Errol Spence in Houston, man, come on. Amazon's like, if you don't send him over there, we're gonna take away everything. We are not. I'm not wasting my money.
I think the more the time.
Go ahead, Undefeated.
The more the time passes by, I'm picking Earl straight up. Like Tim Tszyu, like it's just.
I'm telling you that I don't. You know what Errol said, right? Errol said, "I got one for halfway out the door." That's what.
Well, he is what 30, 35, 36?
36.
Think about it this way, because it's really debatable on who wins. It really is, because both. Okay, you got Earl hasn't fought in 3 years. New trainer, new weight division. He hasn't done shit in 3 years. You got fucking Tim been getting his ass whooped. He's rebuilding his career for the last 3 years, getting knocked out, trouble with his father. He rekindles, new trainer. Like, bro, what the fuck are you doing, bro?
Listen,
what the fuck are you doing?
The only point that I'm making, if 4 years ago you would have posted on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, yo, Spence got to go to Australia to get paid, bro, they would have stoned you to death if you said that dumb shit.
They would have called you a casual,
right?
Yeah, that's the biggest diss in the world. Oh, you casual.
You casual.
But hardcores are so fucking idiots. I'm sorry. I don't know if you guys consider yourselves that, but
you think Spence is gonna get a couple of rounds in with Gore-Tex? They got the same trainer.
I mean, no, probably, but it's just that punch resistance is punch resistance, Herb. And that's what it all boils down to. You're an action guy, he's an action guy. You're a mid-range fighter, he's a mid-range fighter. I don't know about your power, Spence. Like, I literally don't. Like, I don't know if your power was a mirage. Whatever it was. Good or bad. It was. At 1-4. Wait. It was at 147. This is 158. That's where you guys are fighting, at 158. I don't think it's far-fetched for me to say that I think Tim hits harder than you do. I saw him open up Sebastian Fundora's whole mouth with one punch. He got in with one good one and opened his whole shit, nose leaking, mouth leaking. If he hit your ass like that, you had to get retina surgery, fucking veneers and shit. I'm just saying, like, I don't really think you can afford to get hit hard anymore. Like, generally, like, I don't really think you can, but something is gonna get in. Like, yeah, something. It's a boxing match, bro. You're gonna get hit. I don't know.
Yo, Jules.
I think. Go ahead, bro.
You'll get a chance to see how strong he is this go around.
What do you call,
man? After fighting alcoholism and car crashes and shit, you'll see how strong he is. He's real.
That's crazy. That's crazy work, say.
This might be Wilder versus Derek Chisora all over again, bro.
Good point. Honestly, I'm not counting out Spence. I'm not counting him out, but it's very hard for me to count him in because he has been through something traumatic.
Yep.
Dog, like he landed on his face.
Wait,
Undefeated. Even if it's not that, I'm just telling you. Let's say that I'm not gonna make any excuses for you. Fuck the car accident because you were winning fights after that accident. Nobody was saying that shit, right? So fuck all that shit. Here's the thing: the beating that you took from Crawford, that's not a normal beating. That man was, bro. That man was fucking you up for 9 rounds.
That was some more Apollo Creed shit, bro.
For real.
Crazy.
Hey, yo,
And it's
Jules.
not just one wreck; it's 2 wrecks that he had that were like, God damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You seen Spence got he cut his
Oh.
dread. He got one big dread hanging from the back of the middle of the back of his head like a tail.
You got,
Like,
you
cut
got
that
a
shit
rat
off.
tail.
That's probably why you
Yo,
couldn't
he-
make 147 now. Cut that shit off.
Yo. Yo, the shit is Spence is the king of
That's
fucked up
crazy
ass
work.
haircuts, bro. If it ain't that disgusting ass rat tail, it's the fucking Texas shag. Like, why you want to look like the back of your head pregnant, bro? That shit don't look right.
And Texas
That
Shaq.
shit
I
don't
never
look
heard of that. I'm from Texas.
My God, that's
right.
what the Texas
Yeah.
shag where you got the back part is all blown out and shit. That's the
He
Oh,
got
Texas
like a
shag,
fro
bro.
in the back.
Oh, you talk, you
He
talking
got a
about that?
fade on
Oh
the
yeah, that shit
side.
was
He got like
fucked
a
up.
fade on. It looked like an Edgar on the side, but he got pregnancy. He got a depo shot in the like.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Dude. Hey, yo, Joe, let me ask you a question about the fight between Wardley and Dubois. Could you see Dubois hitting Wardley out like straight out the ring, like knocking him out like out of the ring,
My
with a
God,
nasty shot or
yo,
no?
listen, bro. I'm like this close to picking Dubois. Like this, I'm this close. Why? Yeah, Wardley has that one hitter quitter, but he get hit a lot before you like don't you seen the Hooney fight? He got hit a lot. You seen you seen Hooney. You seen listen, the shit is yes, they can both hurt each other. They can both hurt each other, but Wardley got hit a lot in the first Clark fight. He got hit a lot in the Hooney fight. And he got hit a lot in the Parker fight. I'm just saying, you can't let Daniel hit you that much, bro. He hit harder than all them guys. You can't let him hit you that much. And those is fights that you won, but you still got hit a lot.
He looked pretty good his last fight, Justice Hooney. He looked pretty good against that one dude he
Oh,
fought. He dominated.
No, he did.
Yo, country asked for a link,
Yo,
bro.
so
Hey, you
I
know
got
what?
you, country. Let me read these super chats. Let me pay the Con Ed bill. Danny said que sí, and that's all his Spanish. No verdad. Shout out to Zufaru. We making it rain down under. That's why Arrow going down there. Shout out to motherfucking hot top fade. The July 4th card should be fireworks. I can't wait. I can't even, bro. And yeah, yo, this week that's a good card this weekend. I'm buying that shit. You know, I'm mad I'm buying that shit, but I'm gonna buy it.
What card is that?
Yeah,
Dubois
I'm about to buy it
versus
too, honestly.
Wardley.
Oh,
Dubois versus Wardley. It's on the zone, and Morel's
Pay-per-view?
fighting on that shit. Morel is fighting on that. I think it's like $60. It's not.
For real?
It's not.
card.
Who's he fighting?
It's
Who's Morel even fighting?
some fucking bum.
It's not the Ultimate Team.
Oh, what I was gonna say about Dubois.
He's back on the PBC diet.
Yeah, well, the Queensbury diet. Because remember, he took
Dubois-
this on short notice.
yeah.
What's up, fellas?
I was good, country. And yes, Dubois Wardley. I think it's a great fight. To me, it reminds me of the old heavyweights fights when motherfuckers didn't care. Like, man, fuck that shit. Let's fucking rumble. It because Fabio was given 4 names: Hergovic, Jared Anderson, some fucking Eastern European fucking guy, and Daniel. And out of all of them, he chose Daniel. It's like, yo, this guy's a fucking lunatic. Like, you picked that. Okay, fuck it.
Well, he's the
get
biggest
money.
name out of all of them, number one. But number two, I think if Wardley's going to win, a Wardley win is going to have to come in the first half of the fight early, because I feel like the longer the fight goes on, the more it favors Dubois. Because, like you said, and I brought that up in other channels, that he gets hit a lot. And he can't afford to have Dubois fucking being able to hit him that much.
Outside of the Clark fight, outside of the Clark rematch, that's the only early. I've literally watched Fabio's whole career from the moment he went pro. I've seen all his fights. The only early one that he got, where he got the guy quick, was the second Clark fight. The second one.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
he
quick.
knocked
That
his
was
ass
quick.
retarded in that corner, man.
But with Nathan Gorman, whether it's Nathan Gorman or Justice Hooney, right? He always get touched up before. Like, yeah, his nose always get cut. He always get touched up. And I'm just saying, like, yo, Daniel is the biggest puncher you will have ever fought. He is.
Well, and Daniel's also a better boxer too. On top of it.
No, he's not a better boxer, and that's the fucking problem. Daniel's not here to box, bro. He's here to do two things: eat your crayons.
Think he's a better boxer than Wardley is?
Well, no, I don't. He's here to eat your crayons and bust your ass up. Like, Daniel's not a boxer's boxer, bro. He's a brawler. When he's winning, what is he doing?
He's like, super technical, but compared to Wardley, I think he's a better boxer. I think he's able to work with the jab a lot better than Wardley is.
I would disagree because all he does, Daniel shoots his jab one way. There's no nuance to it. There's no fencing. There's no decoy. There's no throwaway. There's no manipulating the guard. He shoots it one way. 1, 2. That's it. That's Daniel's jab. 1, 2. The only reason Daniel's using a jab is to bring the backhand over. That's it. Wardley has a little more probing. He's gonna touch you. He's gonna pat you on the head. He's gonna touch your titty. He doesn't just shoot it. Daniel just shoots it. He just shoots it, steps into it, brings the backhand over. So when you say that a guy is a better boxer than another guy, I'm literally thinking about their boxing. When you shoot the jab, do you get the hand back? Do you keep your hands at home? What round do they start dropping? Because they're going to drop. What round do they stop dropping? What round do they start dropping? You tuck your elbows, you protect that midsection. Do you keep your chin tucked? Are you in a bladed stance? Do you do the goofy shit that David Benavidez does and cross your feet while you try to get close to the guy? You can both. When you say a guy's a better boxer than a guy, in other words, I'm literally thinking about, okay, how does he box? Because some guys don't box. Like David, hot take. David's not a good boxer. He's just fast. David's not a good boxer.
Yo,
when has it ever been the year mark of a good boxer that you're not in a bladed stance and you're giving the guy both shoulders? When has that ever been the year mark of a good boxer?
He's definitely not a good boxer at all. But I'm starting to fuck with David, man. I really am.
Yo,
that motherfucker
great segue. Great segue.
Shit, man.
Hey, Julius.
I don't fuck with him. Go ahead.
Dude, I've been meaning to tell you this, man. Don't take this the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm watching your videos and how you're dealing with David Benavidez and stuff like that. I know you're a better evaluator of in-ring talent and stuff like that, but at the same time, all I'm going to tell you is this, bro. I do not want you to go down the same route I went with David Haney, with Devin Haney. In that, dude, I was coming from some serious fucking hating shit with David Haney, right?
No.
And listen to me before you interrupt, right? And then time after time, the guy, he keeps just being in big fights and winning them. And after a while, I'm like, I think I'm gonna leave this guy alone. You know what I'm saying? And the thing, you know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking, like, I'm hearing you, man, and I'm like, dude, bro, I think you gotta let this one go because
my
dude,
guy, no,
please,
because I haven't been wrong. Esa vaina de sábado. That shit from Saturday, my guy, I said 2 years ago he was going to do that.
Yes, that he was going to.
But that shit was beautiful.
You did say.
Beautiful.
But here's the thing, Julius. What he did, and I felt the same way, because remember I told you that I agree that he needs Canelo to this and that, to be a star. But I'm telling you, if you're not going to get the Canelo fight, then in the absence of that, you have to put on performances like the ones he did against that opponent. And he did it. He did it.
Okay, pero tú no me estás oyendo. El
Okay,
lío
so
con
go ahead.
él, between 175 and cruiserweight, there are less than a handful of fights that you can have that matter. Less than a handful. Less than a handful. You understand that?
Say that again. Say that again. Say it again.
Between 175 and cruiserweight, between 175 and cruiserweight, both divisions, there are less than a handful of fights that you can have that matter. There are only 3.
Okay.
Bivol, Better Beef, Opetaia. Now, what's my problem? You think that I'm doing this shit for Canelo, and I'm not. Like, the Canelo shit is dead. I don't give a fuck about any of that shit. My problem, you're not gonna fight any of them. I promise. He's not gonna fight any of them.
He's not gonna fight any of them?
He's not gonna fight any of them, bro. I said Gervonta Davis will go his whole career having never fought Lomachenko, Lopez.
You were right about that.
I said Wilder will never be undisputed, and Wilder will never be a champion again. Ever. He will never touch another title.
That's
ever. I said everything that's happening with David right now. Yeah, I said all this shit already. Even what he's doing now with the catch weight. I said this guy's going to go to cruiserweight, and you know what he's going to do? He's not going back to fucking 175. Are you guys elementary? Who the fuck goes to cruiserweight, then goes back to light heavyweight? No one. You know what he's going to do? He's going to call Dimitri to come up to him. And the problem, okay, you're not going back to light heavyweight. You're staying at cruiser. I wouldn't have a problem with that, believe it or not, if you wanted to fight some cruisers, but you don't.
What's the catch weight he wants?
190.
Okay.
You're still not hearing me. I don't care if you want to stay at cruiser. Stay. But you're using Dimitri as a shield to not fight cruisers. You're not going to fight him, but you're not going to fight them either. You're not. Just remember that I said I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't fight again this year, because he does this in a pattern. He only fought once in 2020, once in 2022, once in 2024, and now we're in 2026. If that pattern sticks, he will only fight once this year, because he's been doing that for the last 6 years.
Yeah, he's not gonna
How
fight
many
Jai,
fights he has?
but
How many fights he has?
20 something.
He's still in his 20s?
I think no, it's closer to 30 though. It's either 30 or close to 30, because he has 24. He has 26 knockouts. He has 26 knockouts. So I think it's either 30 or 29 or 30, something like that.
I think he's at the perfect age, because Canelo fought Golovkin, 27? Naoya started getting like really. How old was he when he fought after the Super
He was
6?
still in his late 20s, because that was a while ago. He's still in his late 20s.
David's at the right time. I mean,
It's
Floyd
20
was
on.
30.
You going with it because you're a flake. I'm telling you, he doesn't have the opponents. Without the opponents, nothing moves. Canelo was only able to become what he became because he was in divisions that had a high abundance of opponents. Anywhere in between welter, junior middle, and middle, he had a lot of people he could fight. David's problem is you don't have a lot of people you could fight. Remember, he wants to be on pay-per-view exclusively, undefeated. Okay, well, there are only so many fights that you could put on pay-per-view where you campaign. Bivol, yeah, you could do that. Opetaia, yeah, you could do that. But then what? You think people are going to pay $80 to see you fight a fucking Armenian that lives in Miami?
That's crazy.
I feel like with the Jai fight, even if like Turkey could make it happen, they won't do it. And I don't think it's because he's afraid of him. I don't think he's scared. It's just because it validates, even if it's on a ring card, it validates the existence of Zuffa in the boxing space. That you can sign with Zuffa and still get that big fight. And they're trying to keep Zuffa out.
Divine, before he signed with Zuffa, they were poo-pooing on the fight.
Oh, no, I agree.
Signed with Zuffa,
that's just an additional reason.
They're scared. And that's all it is. And I don't got hair on my tongue, and I don't got to sugarcoat it. They're fucking scared. All this shit that his father's saying, you're doing the opposite thing. You know that stylistically he's bad for your son. You know he is. You see the same thing I see. If I can see it, you can see it. Your son loses that fight off a counter left
Athletic
hand.
boxer
He loses
puncher.
that fight.
Athletic boxer
He
puncher
loses
versus
that
pressure
fight.
fighter.
He loses. Your son literally, he still has the same deficiencies from 2017 when he gets knocked on his ass by a left hook from Gavril. He's still doing it. He's still doing it. Let this fucking guy that breaks jaws, breaks orbitals, and just gave the last guy not Glanton, the guy before that, a fucking brain bleed. Sin Cara, let him hit your son and see what happens. Go ahead, fight him square. Fight him square. Like you do everybody else. Fight him square.
Yep.
Shout out to George. Yo, Jules, cats suck, dogs rule. Fuck you. Virtuoso said, I can confirm you said we got to get behind David in one of your lives. I said that? Fuck.
Yo.
Shout out to Trey Duck. Ring, who you got? Leo or Aleem? Look.
That's this weekend, right?
Yeah, they did both of them. The Angelo Leo fight is free. The Angelo Leo fight is free, so I'm looking forward to that. That's a pro box. I don't know if Leo's gonna win that fight.
That's Manny Pacquiao Productions, isn't it, Jules?
That's not the zone.
I think isn't that Leo is a pro box fighter.
No, it's not Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao Promotions.
You should Did they win the purse bid? No, that's a pro. That's a pro. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see.
That's on the zone, bro.
I looked it up. It's Manny Pacquiao Promotions, bro. Sean Gibbons won it.
Wait, they won it? That's crazy.
One way or another, I don't know, but I have a sneaking suspicion that you're right. It's a co-promotion, bro. It's a co-promotion. It's Pacquiao and Dimitri Salita.
So is it on the zone?
On the
zone. It's on the zone. It says view on the zone. Okay. I'll view it on the zone. Okay, I thought I was gonna have to go to YouTube. That's okay. But I don't know if Angelo's gonna win that fight. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if he's gonna win that fight. Just the whole thing of you being so focused on Inoue all fucking day. I would like the honor of get off his fucking dick, bro. The fucking honor. You just want to fight a guy who's moving up in weight. I don't know if Angelo's gonna win that fight. I don't know. I'm gonna smoke a cigarette. Ozzy, take it away.
Hey, he's going, fellas. I just wanted to chime in on the Dubois and Wardley fight, man. Triple knee. I've just lost faith in that guy, man. Like, he's very susceptible to big shots, and man, it's in England, and we all know what them English referees are like, man. Like, you start to take a bit of heat, man. Them referees love jumping in and stopping them fights. So. Now, if Wardley starts catching him, because Wardley is a better boxer than Dubois. Dubois got he's got those big shots where he wants to put you to sleep.
Hey, Australian, I got a question for you, bro. How do you feel about that? I think he's a heavyweight. His name's Tamoa or Tamona. I don't know what his name is. I think his name's Tamoa out of Australia.
Terramoana.
How you feel about him?
He's good, man. He's good. Look, I watched the Olympics, man, and I saw him fight Jalilov in the final 16. And I was impressed with him, man. I think he gave Jalilov the best fight of the Olympics. I think that was his toughest fight. I think Terramoana won the first round and could have arguably won the third round. But regardless, he gave Jalilov his hardest fight in that Olympics. So I'm a big fan of his, man, and he gets it done. He puts dudes to sleep, man. I want to see him bank some rounds. I want to see this guy.
Okay, another question is, could Terramoana and Jai be an Australian super fight down the line, like later on in their career, like those two fight or no?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Jai said it himself. He wants undisputed at cruiser, and then he's moving up, man. So until something else happens, where if he gets shut out at cruiser, man, I want Jai to move to heavyweight because I don't think anyone will avoid him at heavyweight like he's being avoided right now at cruiser. And anyone who thinks he's not being avoided, man, doesn't know what the fuck they're watching or.
If they were to fight, who would you favor? Is it Terramoana because he's a bigger puncher, or would you favor Jai because he's a better boxer?
Look, man, Jai's been a cruiserweight for 11 years. He's been in the cruiserweight division for 11 years. So he was our youngest Olympian at 16. He is one tough dude, man, and you got to carry that dude out of there in a body bag. So I think Jai's got a lot more skill right now than Terramone. If they were to fight right now, I'd take Jai all day.
Jai all day. So
he's tough too, man. He's tough, and see, Jai is a lot of people don't realise this, but Jai's father's Samoan and his mother's a white Australian lady. On his father's side, he's a 4th generation boxer, and on his mother's side, he's a 3rd generation boxer. So, and
this makes a lot of sense. He's Samoan. That makes a lot of sense now. That makes a lot of sense for Jai.
Yeah, man. And his mum's family, they're no slouches to the boxing ring either, man. So there's a lot of boxing in his blood, man. It's in his DNA. And his grandfather fought Tony Mundine. He was a guy that fought Carlos Monzon in the 70s. He was a good Australian middleweight.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah. His grandfather fought Tony Mundine, and a lot of history in that family, man. And I think his father actually still boxes in the Masters series, bro. It's crazy.
That's crazy. So that's crazy. So that's family's fucking crazy. The Opetaia family, they're a fighting family.
Yeah, they are, man. Like, and it goes back generations. You know, back to his great grandfather on his dad's side and his grandfather on his mother's side. So
that fight would be a big fight in what Sydney, Australia. Would that be a big fight over there, or where would you have it at?
Probably. Well, Jai lives on the Gold Coast. Jai's Opetaia gym is it's on the Gold Coast, so it'd probably be bigger in Queensland. And see, New South Wales have got a habit of because we need the government to chip in to get these big fights, man. Like the government pays for, like the government paid for Kambosos Haney. Tim Tszyu, Jeff Horn, you know, that was paid for in my city by the state government. The state governments have to chip in, and for some reason, man, New South Wales just will not chip in money for these fights. Then that's where Sydney is. That's the state that Sydney's in. They will not chip in for these fights.
The only way to have Jai go into that fight, he needs to ride on a freaking saltwater crocodile, on the entrance. The only way for him to go in that fight for Terramone won't. Whatever his name is. I can't say his name. Terramone, I think?
Terramone, yeah.
You know, it was that Australian money that actually really fucked up Teofimo Lopez's career. I don't know if you guys remember this, but that's what confused him because when he had... Huh? What was that?
Are you talking about Triller? Didn't Triller pay him? Didn't Triller?
Well, what I'm saying is this: right before Triller, the reason why he even went through that drama is because there was some real talks about being able to go get $8 million in Australia for fighting Kambosos. And then when shit went down, and because of the pandemic that didn't go through, he was still in his head that was an $8 million fight, and that's why he didn't take what Top Rank was offering him for the Kambosos fight. He just couldn't get in his head to understand that the fights, the Kambosos fight, was more profitable or was worth more to Australia than it was to Americans. And that's where the whole thing started. The $8 million that was offered to him for fighting against Kambosos in Australia. That was a rumor. But then what happened was that Australia locked down, you know, the COVID thing, and that never happened out there. So they couldn't go get that money, but he still wanted to be compensated in the same way rather than what Top Rank was evaluating the fight for. That's how that happened. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. But it's an interesting piece of information, I think, anyway. But go ahead.
I think it was a missed opportunity for Teofimo, if anything, that he underestimated the Australian market that now sees Errol Spence going out there. He's estimated, and I don't know. I don't know. I just know that this is the estimation that I saw a week ago. Him and Tim are estimated to be getting $7 apiece for their fight. $7 mil. Errol couldn't get that here. Like, nah. I mean, like, you'd have to go to Sufa or something. Like,
what they
nobody
give
got.
Thurman?
I don't know, but it's
right
different. It's different with Thurman because he fought Brock Jarvis Brock
Yeah, not
Jarvis is not
Tszyu.
Tim Tszyu. Not you see that different guy. Tim Tszyu's like, the Tszyu name down there is like fucking like, before Tszyu comes up here and things go sideways, he was doing really fucking well out there, like
He didn't need
big
to come
fucking
here.
crowds. Yeah, okay, I said that he didn't need to come here. You're gonna leave all those thousands of people that come to see you fight to go fucking fight at the Armory.
Yeah,
That's
that
crazy.
Because
didn't
you
even
don't
make sense.
because yes, porque él no, he doesn't know. Like, you don't know they got you fighting in the hole in the wall, bro. You might as well be fighting at the Beacon Theater.
He he heard he wanted an American cock ring.
I
A
guess.
what?
Shout out.
Yo, what the fuck are you talking about?
George said, shout out worst heavyweight champion, Carnera, Charles Martin, or Valuev. I wouldn't put Carnera in there because Carnera holds the record for the most knockouts of the most knockouts of a heavyweight, I think it is. So I wouldn't put Carnera in there. He actually holds a record. I would say Charles Martin. He was a champion for what, 15 minutes? He was a champion 14 for 14 minutes. He's a champion.
That was crazy.
Back to what Alexis said, which I thought was compelling, and I was thinking on it while I was smoking my cigarette, that it's not that I'm rooting for David to fail. You understand? It's that I don't think you are what they're making you out to be. You're not gonna to be the face of boxing, whether they like you or not. You have to consistently fight in the big fights. Whether you liked Oscar or not, that's what he did. Whether you liked Floyd or not, that's what he did. Or whether you liked Canelo or not, that's what he did. The fights were big. David is not going to do that. Like, I'm telling you that's my problem. You're not. I don't think you're going to fight. I don't think it was ever your intention to fight Bivol. And I don't think you're going to fight. Well, it's not that I don't think. You said you're not going to fight Jai Opetaia. So it's not even me paraphrasing. You said maybe in 2 years. That's what he said. So what the fuck you going to do for the next 2 years?
Hey, Jules, is it a lot, though, too? You're tired. You've seen this playbook with PBC. Wilder was the face. Tank was the face. The guy they threw at welterweight. Every time they say there's a face, they run the same playbook. Cloud chase off the fucking face.
And it's always a counterfeit. Look, when you're the face, you're the fucking face. Look, I don't need, I feel like I shouldn't have to say this. You're not the face. You and another guy fought on the same weekend. Only one of you generated a $32 million gate. How the fuck are you the face? What are we doing? The guy, a fucking super bantamweight, generated $32 million at the gate. That's not counting the pay-per-view buys.
That's insane.
But David, my guy,
gate. Wow.
My guy, they replaced Canelo Golovkin 1 for the highest gate. Canelo Golovkin 1 brought in $27 million at the gate. Inoue and Nakatani replaced it at 32. Why are we pretending? Why are we pretending that David is in the running to be the face of boxing? This is
what I love, Jules?
It's ridiculous. Jules, Jaime Munguia versus Zerto would have been Mexican versus Mexican. That would have did more for the Mexicans than a fucking counterfeit Ecuadorian.
Counterfeit Ecuadorian.
This is and that's why I keep telling, Alexis, you've seen the videos that I did, so you heard me say he's a media creation. They want him to be the face, so they're pushing that product. But the numbers don't. If the numbers said it, then I would just concede. Yes, he's the face. The numbers don't say that. The matchmaking doesn't say that. And I know you're not gonna do what. Oscar fought everybody, bro. That's why he was the face. He fought win or lose. Yeah, he fought everybody. Fucking Fernando Vargas, Felix Trinidad, right? Bernard Hopkins. He fought everybody, bro. Damn near, because that's what the face does. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that.
What do you know? What do you think? How much validity you give to this whole Devin Haney $100 million thing?
Turkey is a moron. You gave Conor Ben $15 million.
Yeah, I wouldn't give Conor.
I mean, like,
$100 million.
If it's me, dog, I would pay Devin Haney $10 million to fight in a basement with no lights on for 3 days while no cameras are rolling. That's what I would do for Devin.
How much would you?
What
How
I would-
much would you pay Devin to go away forever and not
right?
box?
Like, right? Like,
100 million easily.
you know what
Get
I
the
would?
fuck
I
off my.
would pay. I would pay Devin to sweep the sand off the beach on Epstein Island. I'd pay him to
That's
do that,
crazy.
bro. The vacuum.
Alexis,
Hey, yo,
Good.
Jules.
hey Alexis, have you seen the American media asking all the Mexican fighters if they think David's Mexican?
Oh my god.
No.
Oh, you didn't
No,
see
no,
that?
look.
No.
Alexis, they went to Chavez, and this is how you know he's a media creation. Now, you don't need to be the smartest guy to know this. You just need to speak the language. And it's common sense. If I go to the Dominican Republic, are they going to say I'm Dominican? No, they're going to say I'm American. And you think it's different for David? Chavez said, "Look, he's a good kid. I think he's North American. I hope that he can endear himself to the Mexican fans." Verbatim, this is what he said. The Mexicans don't know him. That's what he said. Straight up. You got Americans in America calling him the Mexican monster, while the greatest champion that Mexico ever produced just told you they don't know him. When I
Hey, yo,
spoke to
Jules.
Navarrete, I interviewed Navarrete about 2-3 years ago. I asked him about David. He said the
You
same.
interviewed Navarrete?
Well,
My
you did?
guys, it's up. Yes, I 2-3 years ago. It's up. Go to the playlist. Go to Ring IQ interviews. I interviewed Navarrete. I asked him
Oh
about David.
shit.
He
That's
literally said,
awesome, bro.
Yeah, that was a
"My
good
guy."
interview.
He literally. Sulem. Shout out to Sulem. She set it up for me. He said they don't know him. He said that. I'm like, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Yo,
You know,
Jules.
it's not me being fucked up. Like, that's what it is, bro.
Remember,
That's what it
I
is.
gave you the footage when I was in Guadalajara for when Canelo fought Ryder. I asked for they didn't know who David Benavidez was, and this is in fucking Guadalajara.
Yeah.
Trying to tell
Well,
you.
yo, Jules. Well, I have another question. Or what do you call it? The bad thing about it, the one who gave him the name, the Mexican Monster, he's not even Mexican himself. Like that's kind of where,
It's
like,
Mike
I don't.
Tyson. It's
Yeah.
Mike
Yep.
Tyson. It's
Yeah.
Mike
And then,
Tyson.
yep. That's the
Look, the
bad part about
culture, the real shit is that the real shit is that the culture runs deep. Like, it's not like, look, man, you could endear yourself to who you want to endear yourself. You could try to. But with David, like us, it's a gimmick. It is a gimmick. You are not a Mexican national. It's cool that you speak the language. I think it's important that you do. That helps a great deal. It does. And I'm not saying that you can't maybe get them to like you, but do you know how odd and bizarre it is for you to have Americans and American media calling you the Mexican monster, except the Mexicans don't know him. The Mexicans know Munguia. The Mexicans literally know Munguia more than they know David.
It's all
You can make of
disrespectful
that
for
what
them.
you will. And everybody knows that there's an unspoken rivalry between Mexican nationals and American-born descendants of Mexican people. Everybody knows that. It's been that way since Oscar and Chavez.
That's true.
But
You know what the
so
irony here? The irony here is that when you mentioning this Munguia and the thing, and he just fought
Resendiz.
Ramirez. No, Ramirez. I'm not talking about Munguia. What I'm talking about in him wanting to become the face of Mexico and stuff like that. The irony is that if he would have fought, because you build the fighter into that, it has to happen organically, and I think that the fact that if he would have fought Sudo Ramirez at the time they were both coming up at 168, right? And follow that up, maybe have
Manín, yo lo dije, yo lo dije hace mucho tiempo que cuando tú estabas en
in
el
your resume.
68, you had a whole bunch of Europeans to beat up on. You had Zerto there to beat up on. And if you would have did these things then, we're talking about 5-6 years ago, the foundation for you would have built that fan base. All those people, it would have been sewed up already. You didn't do any of that. So you don't all of a sudden, it's literally not like, no, it's not like that, bro. You just don't know. Canelo Alvarez already had successful pay-per-views. He already had pay-per-views that sold anywhere in between 330 and 900. This is all before he fights Golovkin. And even then, he was not the face of boxing. He didn't become the face of boxing officially until after he wins the second Golovkin fight. Nobody called him that. He
Or
was
what? Maybe
successful.
after the Cotto fight, it started.
No. What he was a big draw. What he was a big draw, and everybody knew that. Canelo Alvarez is a huge draw. They did not call him the face of boxing. They didn't.
You sure?
And this is a guy, I'm 100% sure, 100% sure they didn't call him that. But they knew he was a big draw. That was he a star? Yes, he was a star, but he was not viewed as the face of boxing. When he beats Golovkin, when he kills the narrative that I'm scared and I'm running, it's after that you started to see people saying he is the face of boxing. That's when that started. And I'm telling you, now think about that. Now think about that. This is a guy who sold 300,000 with Laura, 300,000 with Liam Smith, 300,000 with Trout. 900,000 with Miguel Cotto, 600,000 with Amir Khan, $1 million with Chavez Jr., $1 million. And he was not yet the face of boxing, selling all that. He wasn't the face of boxing yet. But David is. I'm okay.
Hey, yo,
Fuck
Jules.
me then.
What do you call?
I don't.
What do you call? I'm not gonna lie. I was rewatching that whole face-off, man. That shit was funny. Freaking even though he got his ass beat, Chavez Jr. was roasting on Canelo, but Canelo did whoop his ass though. He whooped his
Hey,
ass.
my man was weight drained. Fuck you. He was weight drained. Fuck you.
Shout out to Jaime Nieto. My girl is from Mexico, and her brother and dad have no clue who David is. He was here last weekend. I asked him about him, and he's never heard of him.
How are you gonna be a Mexican monster when you didn't have any fights in Mexico, bro? All these dudes, Joe. How are you gonna be a Mexican monster?
He might get his chain taken off him if he goes and fights in Mexico.
I'm telling you that the problem is, Alex already said it. It has to happen organically. The way you guys are doing it, it's a gimmick. It's a gimmick. You're running with something that Mike Tyson said. Oh, because Mike Tyson rules fucking Mexico.
Hey, Jules, what do you think of David Benavidez hanging out and live streaming with Ryan Garcia? Does that look like he's thirsty for maybe some followers?
Oh shit! I just seen that video, Australian.
He's looking for what David is doing is they're not gonna say it. This is just me using my psychic power. They're realizing this Mexican angle isn't working because it matters a great deal that the week of your fight, Chavez said you're not Mexican. That's a big blow. You understand? That's a big Chavez. That's a mic. Yo, thank you, country. Yep. That's a mic drop.
100%.
Chavez,
and he was gracious too.
Come on, you gotta stop interrupting. He called you a North American. You understand? Like that's almost an insult. That you're like, look, it's cool. You fight and your dad and hey, you're an American. I think they sense that you're only saying that because you want us to buy your fights. And now when you see that David is doing a live stream with Ryan, okay, now you're going for the younger demographic because doing the Mexican thing, it just hasn't been working. Underneath it all, you know what the numbers are. You've been on pay-per-view 5 times. Plant, Andre, Morel, Yard, now Zerto. Those numbers are dog shit. How is it that we know Inoue's numbers already and he fought the same day as you, but he's halfway around the world? How? Because he sold something. You didn't. And
hey, but under the Muhammad Ali Act, hey Jules, under the Muhammad Ali Act, doesn't that protect the boxer to get these numbers? Yeah, doesn't that?
The Muhammad Ali Act ain't gonna sell no tickets. The point I'm making is I'm not, hand on heart, I'm not wishing bad on David. I'm telling you what it is. I'm not if you can get out there and become the face, go do it. I just know that I know you're not. I know if Canelo doesn't fight as much online hate as he gets, if he does a fight in this country, it's gonna move the needle. The baseline for a Canelo Alvarez pay-per-view is between 4 and 5. He can do that with a bum. He can do that with a fucking bum. You can't do that with a unified cruiserweight champion.
I just, anybody that was the face of boxing 13 years into their career, they would have already been the face.
True.
Right? Oscar was
Well,
26 when Oscar was 26 years old when he fought Trinidad. He was the fucking face. And he lost that fight. And he still stayed the face.
Can I tell you the difference? Can I tell you the difference between an Oscar De La Hoya and a David Benavidez, man? Because I'm an old school fan. I'm nearly 50, right? And for me, I look at the guy's resume, bro. I can't look past the resume. And like you said before about Floyd being the face, you can say what you want about the guy. The guy's resumes, they speak for themselves. And when you're done and you lay them gloves down in the middle of the ring and you're done with boxing, man, you know what? All you've got is you've got that resume. That's all you've got. I mean, look at a guy like Chavez, bro. 1 foot out the door and fought a prime Costa Tszyu. A prime Costa Tszyu. That is a legend, mate. That is a guy. Like, I still wear a Chavez T-shirt today, bro. I love the guy.
Yeah. Listen. Floyd is a good example of, look, people gave him shit over when he fought people, but there is no question that he fought in fights that people wanted to see, because if they didn't want to see him, they wouldn't have fucking bought him. 1 million people bought the Mosley fight. 1 million.
Yep.
People wanted to see those fights. The face of boxing it has always been the guy who sells the most, the guy who generates the most revenue for the sport. Okay, well, that can't be David. It can't. You don't generate the most money in America, and generally you don't generate the most money in the sport. So to the point that Alexis was making, that don't fall into the trap of hating this guy and allowing him to make a fool out of you. I get what you're saying, Alexis, but he hasn't yet. He's proven me right about everything I said. He's doing everything I said. And I'm telling you, don't be surprised that look, if he could fight again this year, hey, great for him and his fans. But I would not be surprised if he doesn't fight again this year, because you're at cruiserweight now. You can't go back. You're at cruiserweight now. Cruiserweight is not an American-friendly division. You want to fight on pay-per-view exclusively. Well, there's not a lot of guys up there for you to fight on pay-per-view.
There is one guy that's on a winning streak.
Fight.
There's one guy that's on a winning streak.
Who?
He's the son of a legend. He's the son of a legend.
Well, come on, Drew. Be serious. You're not
Chavez.
fucking
Hey,
fight
you don't
Chavez, bro.
you don't think David Benavidez is that low to stoop to that? You don't think he is?
Yeah, I
Come
think
on.
he is, but I don't
Exactly. Mexican Independence Day.
I mean, like, you know what?
Yeah.
He did win 2 fights.
At Cruiser. Hey, Alexis, though. Alexis, David could have been the face of boxing if that top-ranked deal went through.
Right.
Yeah, if they would have let him cross over, but they pulled him back, is what I remember. He had to give back because they gave him a cash advance of like $300,000 or something, like, and he had to give it back.
They knew they wanted to build a champion. They wanted Ramirez and Benavidez to get it on, and that would they know how to do it. It's organically, which is a good segue to this. The guy who, in my opinion, is on track to become a face of boxing, depending on his performances and stuff like that. You know, I mean, Inoue is already that. He should be considered that. But people are not really fucking with those lower weight classes, and he's all the way in Asia and stuff like that. But to them out there, he's the face of boxing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but on this side, is this kid, Desire's kid? He's doing it correctly.
I agree with the organic part.
He's got the island. He's got an island behind, like really got an island behind him. Really got people. The Puerto Ricans do buy pay-per-view. And he's willing to fight the fights, and he's fighting, and he wants to get in that ring 2-3 times a year. Like he's checking off all the boxes. He's charismatic, you know.
Handsome Puerto Rican, like I said. Handsome Puerto Rican.
You know, and so it's
and he's got this. And if he wins the fight, like
this,
he could lose the fight and still become the face. He
Yo,
could
Jules.
lose the fight and still become the face.
Yeah, because he's
Let me
endeared
read the
himself
super
to his
chats.
people.
George said, "Wasn't Inoue versus Junto free? I watched it on DAZN and didn't pay for then skip Benavidez versus Zerto live. What's going on?" Well, it wasn't free. It was free for us here, thank God, by the way, because that's the way it's supposed to be. But in Japan, it was a pay-per-view that sold over 600,000 buys.
That's impressive. That is,
That's
yo,
a,
Jules, what do you call? You probably think this is crazy, but I ended up putting 500 on Zayas to beat Boots. I'm that confident in Zayas. I think
You're
Zayas will.
crazy. You're
Wow.
crazy.
I
I
did.
love it. I love it. I love it.
Wow.
That's
Alexis,
yo. I would like for Zayas to win that fight, but like I don't know. I don't know.
And you
Because I
know
don't.
what, Jules? You know
I
what,
don't. I
Jules?
don't know what Boots is, man. I just don't know. Go ahead, Go ahead, Ozzy.
Sorry, man. I was just going to say with Japan, like people saying that Inoue needs to go to America. No, the fuck he doesn't. That
No.
guy, if he's selling 600,000 in a country of 120 million people, that's a third of the size of the US, and he's doing those type of
Hmm.
numbers.
Doesn't need
He
you.
don't need to go anywhere, bro. He's
And
breaking
Sue didn't
records.
need to come here either.
No, no.
Exactly.
Yo,
He fought
I
in
got.
Vegas for the
Listen,
Super Series, bro. Like,
I
I
got.
mean, the
Listen,
guy fought it.
Ozzy. You probably wasn't watching this channel when that. I was fucking furious when Tim
Hey,
decided to
hey,
come
hey,
here. I
hey,
thought
and
the
guess
guy was
what?
out of his mind.
And guess what? AJ didn't need to come here either.
Nah,
He didn't need to come here. He didn't need to
no.
come here.
No,
He
no.
didn't
I'll
need to
say
come
this.
here.
No, wait. I'll say this. It's not that did he need to come here. No, need is not what he needed to do. But if you think about what was happening at the time, that you're still trying to build a Wilder fight. That I said this fight is never going to happen. Go back and watch every vid. This is never going to happen. They're going to fuck this up. But if you think about what they were trying to do, I'm going to come to America and I'm going to build my name here too. I'm already a monster in my country. I want to build my name in yours too, right? I understand the logic. I understand that I'm going to make it to where your people are going to want
Are
this fight,
clamoring
to
for
where
me.
you got to stop playing these games, because that's the reason that fight didn't happen. You were playing games like you could never be the A side to me. There's no arena where you're on equal footing, let alone the A side to me, and that's what that was. Did he need to come here? No, you're right about that. But back over to Tim. Yo, Ozzy, I was fucking furious. Because I'm like, does Tim not know that Minneapolis is a shithole? Does he not know that the Armory is an outhouse?
that
Like,
the
what the
Somalians
fuck?
took over.
Like, why are you going? Kid's fucking royalty in his country. What the fuck are you coming here and fighting Minneapolis?
Crazy.
That's
Crazy.
crazy.
It was
I,
that's one of the
Alexis,
dumbest. Go ahead.
do you consider this be a PBC versus Top Rank with Boots and Zayas or Matchroom? The Zayas
Um,
Boots.
I see Boots. I no matter how many times what's his name talks
Eddie Hearn.
Eddie Hearn talks for him and this and that's my fighter. I see Boots. He's a PVC fighter. He's a PVC fighter. And what I mean when I say PVC fighter, I don't mean literally contractually but he's from cut from that cloth. He was out there. He moves that same way. You know what I mean? That's why he's been around as long as he has and doesn't have much of a resume. You know, it's the same PVC playbook. Now he
What's wrong
signed with
with
Eddie
that?
Hearn, and
He
Eddie
fought fucking.
Hearn, and I
He fought
give Eddie
fucking
Hearn
Thomas
this.
Dulorme. He fought Thomas
Exactly,
Dulorme, and
exactly,
they fucking
exactly.
creamed themselves.
Exactly. So he's making names out of fighters. You fight Thomas Delorme now, this Delorme, and you want a lot of credit for that. You give him a lot of credit for that, but then Crawford can't get credit for when the guy was actually somebody. You know what I'm saying? So and the thing is that so he's cut from that same cloth. He built his name off of Crawford name association, word association, Crawford this and that, and he's on the other side. He comes from that, and that's why his thinking is the way it is. That's why, dude, one of the funniest things that I've ever seen. Talk about Freudian, bro. He sits on that dais in that conference with Zayas. and he could not accept that the fight was being made, that the other guy's getting all the credit for making the fights. You know what I'm saying? And then he has to turn it into, I'm the A side. He has to make it about the A side. Zayas wasn't making it about the A side. Zayas was like, it's a 50-50 fight. I'm bringing two belts. We're going to fight this and that. I see something young, I'm going to beat you. This and that. That's all it was to Zayas. This guy wants to make it that. And then it was so crazy. You can see his thinking is so fucked. It's
No,
so
no, 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 yeah, yeah.
PVC.
No, pero de verdad.
It's
Pero
so
no era
PVC.
verdad.
And that, wait a minute. And that, one more
You know
thing.
what? I'm gonna
That
do a
whole, I'm
fucking
the A
thumbnail que
side.
dice eso. Xander Zayas made this fight because really he did. He
Yeah.
didn't have
Of
to.
course.
He didn't have to fucking deal with, like,
And
bro. He doing you a favor, bro.
And then,
and
with all
Alexis,
the Boots
to my
fights,
point was like Top Rank's not gonna let them make this fight if they're like, okay, you think you can take him? Okay, fuck it, let's go.
what was that
Yeah.
again?
Top Rank is not gonna not. You want to make this fight? Let's do it. Whatever they see in fucking Boots, because doesn't Cameron Duncan? Cameron Duncan brought them Bud. I know they took Boots over there first before they brought him to Showtime, and they said, "Now we good."
Well,
Yeah,
the thing is
but
that,
Cameron
just to
Duncan,
the thing
but
is to the point. This fight doesn't get made without Xander. Like, you guys were in trouble. You know, the Virgil shit that got fucked right in the ass.
right.
Yeah, fuck that shit up. What the
You know
fuck were
what,
you? What the fuck were you gonna do if Xander doesn't take this fight?
Xander
What are you
didn't
gonna
have
do?
to take this fight, man. Xander,
Exactly.
you know what? Can I just say, as a purist and an old throwback fighter, I love the throwback fight style, and the mentality. And I just want to say that there isn't a 23-year-old unified champion in boxing today that'll take a risk like Boots Ennis, like Xander is. So I'm rooting for that guy just for that reason.
Yeah,
And not the,
I think that boxing would be in better shape, especially on the East Coast, because Xander can bring back Puerto Rican boxing to the tri-state area. He can bring it back to Atlantic City and to the island, because there's been an influx of boxing matches on the island in Puerto Rico. And I do think that it would be more beneficial for the sport if Xander won, just because, look, once the Puerto
of
Ricans get going, they
course,
spend
of
fucking money.
course,
They
of
spend
course, of
money.
course. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is the other thing that's not really being talked about. The date of the fight is a Puerto Rican date, and he's the Puerto Rican, not you. You understand?
Who's the
So
house fighter
it
then?
this whole no. What they
What's a
did in that deal,
co-promotion,
and
Drew?
I
There's no
told you
house
this,
fighter.
Jules. I told you this, Jules. I think that this is how the deal was constructed, because that's why this fight is taking place in the concession that was made from the TR side is that the fight would be taking place on Barclays.
Yeah,
Because if it's a TR fight, it's Madison Square Garden. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? Plain and simple. So that was
yeah.
concession was made. The date of the fight, the concession was made for Xander. Because Xander was already going to fight. Remember that there's the whole thing about when the fight. Oh, why didn't you? See, that's the other thing. Boots made a. Oh, why didn't you fight me 2 weeks before? Because you was making a fat camp. They said, shut up. What do you care? The fight was gonna. The fight is. Why are you bringing this stupid shit that has nothing to do with anything? You're getting a fucking fight. You fucking dummy. You're so fucking stupid.
Yo, the shit
You're
is, look,
just beyond stupid, bro.
I like the fight.
Beyond
You know what?
stupid.
I like the fight because a lot of the fights that we get them. Fights sometimes are good for good reason and for bad reason. This fight is good for good reason. They're both unbeaten. They're
Yes.
both entering their prime. They both have a lot to prove. They both want to become the face. So you're getting a good fight, and stylistically, it's a good fight. Stylistically, has the potential to be a good fight. And yeah, I like it. You know, it's just one thing, though. I do have to say, I don't think they're in a place where it should be a pay-per-view. I just don't. I don't think it's.
No.
I think
No.
whoever wins. I think whoever wins, then pay-per-view. But for the fight itself, like, nah, Boots, you're not in a place where people need to be paying $60, $75 to see you fight. Like, you're not. And Xander, nah,
That
come
he.
on, bro. I like you,
Oh,
but
that's
come
the
on.
other thing. That's the other thing. Boots is using words like, like he's the cash cow of one. Like, dude, those are old phrases,
Yeah.
man. Those are he's el tipo está pasado, man. Somebody's got to get him the memo, bro. Those days are over, man.
No, I mean, because I get. Look, for example, he's basing what he's saying. He's basing what he's saying on beating
Eddie's
Xander.
money.
Yeah, he is though. But in a manner of speaking, sort of like what's the PBC paying Sebastian Fundora, bro? What, airline peanuts and a do rag? Like what are they paying that guy?
Well, they promised him a Spirit Airlines gift card, but that since it went under,
right? And Josh Kelly. Yeah, you could probably draw a bit in the UK. I don't doubt that you can, but I don't think you're the cash cow. I mean, you were on Channel 5.
Can I just say the reason Josh Kelly fight does not happen right away and was never going to happen right away was because Eddie wants to give Josh Kelly a homecoming to defend his title against a bum where he can just win it. He can retain his belt in England. And that's always been the plan with Josh Kelly after he got that belt off Murder.
Oh, yeah.
And Eddie's not stupid because let's be honest, if Josh Kelly loses, then he's gone. Matchroom's lost. Matchroom will lose.
No, not even that. Is there's always good domestic money to be made in the UK when a guy off of merit too. Because look, Josh Kelly did good. He beat that. Nobody wanted to touch that Russian with a 10-foot pole. Nobody wanted to do nothing with that fucking guy. And he beat the guy. Like they all had the same chance to fight that same fucking Russian. They didn't want to do nothing with him. Josh stepped up before him and he won. It was, but it's like still he did it. He deserves a homecoming fight. He did it. He won the fight. I didn't think he was going to win the fight.
I think he ran like a bitch in the end. I don't think champions run. So did I. I don't think champions run for fucking 3 rounds in 10, 11, 12 that are well beaten. But anyway,
Ozzy, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. That did he run towards the end of the fight? Did he try to win it going away? Yeah, but you got to give him credit that in the beginning he really was using his jab, and he was interrupting. He was interrupting Bakram. That whenever Bakram would try to come forward, pop, here's a jab, now I'm out. Pop, here's a jab, now I'm out. And that's how he prevented him from mowing him down. Like he did good. He did good. Drew, fix your headphones, bro, because it's just killing me.
Was it me?
I was on mute.
It's either. Oh shit, my fault. Then the country, fix your shit. Go ahead, Ozzy.
Yeah, I was going to say, isn't it funny how much weight Tim Tszyu in the actual 154, the guy, and 12 months is a long time in the sport, especially when you're an active fighter like Tim Tszyu is. And a lot of people are, I copped so much flack for being a Tim Tszyu fan, and I'm still a fan of his, man, but I know when to stick a fork in the road and go, hey, you've been bashed. You're not the same fighter. You don't let your fucking hands go anymore. You're fighting very wary in that ring. And I saw round 3 against Murder Zaliev. That was when he got his soul taken. I think Tim got his soul taken in that fight.
See, I was it's very hard for me to be optimistic about fighters, especially ones that get the fucking daylights beaten out of him like he did. But he looked good in that Nurja fight. He did. And I liked what I was seeing from him and Pedro. It was actually looking like, look, you still got to be careful, but if you stick with this, it can work. If you stick with this, especially if the plan is to fight Spence. Now, I don't look. Jeff Fennick was a great fighter. He's a great fighter, but the trainer, I don't know. I don't know. Like, and it's not even all on Jeff Fennick being the trainer.
You know how many world champions?
But you just spent. It's not that. You just spent, what's it been, 6 months, maybe about 6, right? With Pedro in Miami, a little more than that. And now you're suddenly changing everything. It's like, I don't like that. I don't like, you was
Jules,
learning the Cuban, you was doing the Cuban bull. Hold on, bro, I'm in a sentence. You doing the Cuban shit. Now, I don't know what Jeff is going to have you doing. You got to adapt to a new style, apart from the new one that you was just learning. It's like, come on, Tim. You could have stuck with Pedro for one more fight and then go to Jeff. Don't change everything now that you're going to fight fucking Spence. I don't know what I'm about to get.
Hmm.
Go ahead, Virtuoso.
Yeah, I was gonna ask Angry Austin because you sound familiar. Yo, are you the guy that be talking to T Street controversy?
Nah, man, no, that's Big. What's his name? Big J.
Oh, Big J. Yeah, yeah. You
Yeah,
sound like
no,
him,
that's
man.
another fella over on T Street. Yeah. Now, look, I just want to quickly say that look, Jeff was a great boxer. He's arguably the GOAT Australian boxer, man. Like, three-weight champion, like absolute fought the likes of Carlos Zarate, Azuma Nelson in his prime got absolutely robbed in that fight.
Mm.
Like Jeff Fennick, but mate, I agree, Jules. As a trainer, man, no, Jeff's never trained a world champion. Jeff kind of lived a pretty, I don't know, man. He's lived a pretty out there type life, and but I tell you who he does have in his corner that's going to work well for him is Johnny Lewis, man. Now Johnny Lewis, he might be nearly 90, but that man, he's the best Australian boxing trainer that we've ever had blood poured into their veins. And he trained Jeff Fennick, he trained Costa Tszyu. He was an absolute legend of a trainer. Too little, too late for Tim? I don't know, man. In my opinion, Tim should have done this from day one. Have his father,
No,
have Jeff, and have Johnny Lewis.
the thing is, you know this better than I do. Jeff has kind of always been there. Like he's wanted this assignment with Tim. Like he's kind of always been there, sort of in the background, you know. And now he's finally got the assignment, but the timing is off. You don't just do this like this. Like, bro, you've been in Miami for like 6-7 months or whatever, learning the Cuban style. Now you got to start all over again. This is not the fight for you to be doing that. You could
Like,
more camp. You know, you do one more camp with Pedro, right? You do one more with Pedro, and then if you really want to use Jeff, right, do it after that. Not like this. Like this is random. Like I don't know, Tim. I don't
Yo,
know.
Jules.
yeah,
You know?
I see the rationale behind it. I think because he's fighting domestically in Australia, he wants an Australian trainer, and he doesn't want to fly out, Diaz out in and out of the U.S. That's how I look at it. When he's ready to move up to world level, then he starts moving out to the U.S.
But
That's like to
well, then
that
he should have
end.
then he should have been training out there to begin with, because the Nurja fight, the Velasquez fight, those fights were in Australia. So if it was about that, you should have just been training out there from the get.
Yo,
Yeah,
Jules.
But to that end, I've never really seen a fight. I mean, a fighter be as malleable as Jaime Munguia. Goes from trainer to trainer,
He's a
and he
good
just
student.
adapts to that trainer. He just soaks it in and does, whatever that
He's
that
a no
that
no. He's a good
philosophy is.
student. He's a good like that's why he takes, because you saw it immediately when he went to Roach. Like, oh shit,
yeah.
Jaime.
Yep,
Oh
yep,
So
shit.
yep,
improvements.
yep,
He's a
yep.
good student. He's a good that's what that is. That well, he's gonna listen. He's actually gonna listen to what you tell him. Whereas you got good students, you got bad students. Wilder, this according to Mark Breland, y'all heard it. He's a bad student. He don't listen to nobody because he thinks he's got it all figured out. You
Yeah.
don't listen to nobody. So
Yo,
you know,
yo, Jules. The bad thing about it is, I liked what Tim Tszyu was doing with the Pedro deals. I like that. I'm like, I've always been a Tim Tszyu fan, a big one, and I always thought like, I'm like, one day this is gonna catch up to you. One day this pressure fighting style is gonna get you knocked out or whooped. And I'm like, well, it just happened.
I'm sad about how it happened because it didn't
Yeah,
have to happen. They
it
say,
didn't.
Ozzy, I've been saying this from the get. He was set up. He was set
I
up.
think he was 100%. Jules,
Yep.
tell me this.
Yeah.
Can you name me another fight, bro, where you cop an elbow to the forehead and you bleed out, or you're bleeding outright, and your corner man's that dumb that he doesn't even have the cotton tips dipped in anticoagulant before the fight to stop the blood. Now, when you step up off the stool, round after round, and there's blood pouring in your eyes, when have you never seen a doctor come in and stop the fight?
Listen, I'll say this. I'll go a step further. He signed on to fight a 5'7" orthodox fighter in his mid-30s. How the fuck does he end up with a 6'4" southpaw in his 20s? You
That's
ended up with
crazy.
the exact opposite of what you
11
were
days.
training for.
And
11
there's
days
no film
notice.
on Murtazaliev.
11 days
Barely.
notice.
Well, the Mortazaliev thing is that's a separate thing, but it's just that I always felt that Thurman was never gonna fight Tszyu. Thurman was never gonna fight Tszyu. They pulled the switcheroo on him. Thurman has almost no history of taking on risky opponents, and Tim Tszyu was a risky opponent at that time. And you're telling me Thurman, who was coming off a 2-year layoff, he was gonna fight Tszyu, who was knocking people out. He was still, he's still doing good. You telling me he signed on for that? No. Sebastian was supposed to fight Sergey Boachuk on that undercard. Is that just a coincidence? Supposed to fight Sergey Boachuk on that undercard. And then you think about it, Boachuk was a risky opponent at that time. I know that he's not doing good now, but at that time, Boachuk was a risky opponent. And Sebastian just decided to fight this fucking crazy-looking Ukrainian. He just, fuck it. I'm doing this. No. Sebastian was never going to fight Sergey. Thurman was never going to fight Tim. You guys were going to pull the switcheroo at the last minute. At the very last minute, so that Tim doesn't cancel. We don't want to scrap the whole event. We already did a camp. The money's already spent. We want to get paid. Now we're going to do it. You're going to pull the switcheroo at the last minute, and that's what they did. I have always felt from the moment that he arrived in Minneapolis to fight the Olympian Terrell Gausha, I've always felt the PBC have been trying to set him up because he created a problem for them. He was Charlo's mandatory. He became a nuisance. They were hoping that Terrell Gausha was going to beat him. He didn't. And I it's sad because I think Tim was world class. I absolutely think he was. But after that elbow splits his forehead open, everything is spiraled out of control. That fight should have never. That fucking fight should have never happened. It should have never happened.
Joe's the bad part about it too. Even with that elbow, is even if he can get the elbow cut, I thought he was gonna knock out. I thought he was gonna knock off Fedor badly. I'm like, it was looking like that, and then gets cut in the face. I'm like, this is over. This cut's gonna ruin this fight.
Well, the shit is, I'm, the cut is the freak accident part. But I'm saying Tim shouldn't have been in that fucking fight at all. Like I said, you signed on to fight a 5'7" orthodox fighter in his mid-30s. You literally ended up with the exact opposite. Literally. That's not a coincidence. That's on purpose. They fuck you over.
And the whole shit is stupid on both ends.
I can't think of a time where a fight's ever been able to continue where a guy literally needs windshield wipers on his fucking eyeballs to stop the blood going in there, man. Like he'd throw a jab and he'd wipe his eye.
But it's also because Tim, he's a brave kid. He's got and that's a part of it. That like dog Tim, you should have said you should have looked at when Thurman is injured. Fuck this. We're not doing this. Why? Tim was supposed to have fought already. Y'all was supposed to get me Erickson Lubin. Y'all didn't get him. Y'all wasted a bunch of my time with the Lubin shit. This is a setup. And I just think
that was the problem. He didn't have the situational awareness for that.
I think he was so eager to make a splash in America, he just didn't see that he was getting played. Like, you should have never been in that fight. You should have never been in that fight.
It's sad too because Tim Tszyu is a warrior, and I love him as a fan. I was like, hell yeah, dude, this crazy Australian dude's coming here whooping ass, and then we see this shit. I'm like, damn, this is fucking sad, bro. Like,
he was the dude was really on his way, but he couldn't read in between the lines, my guy. They sent you to Minneapolis to the Armory to fight a fucking a former U.S. Olympian, and they're doing and you're doing this voluntarily. You're gambling your title shot on a mover in Minneapolis at the Armory. They're setting you up from the very beginning. They've been setting you up because they never had any intention of making the Charlo fight. So it's just like, we'll get this guy a fight. He'll lose, and then he'll fuck off. That was the plan. It didn't work. Right. He kept winning.
You can look at it as a setup, but to me, I look at that shit as a fucking bag fumble from a PBC standpoint. That was so dumb.
What's crazy is though.
You know what, man? I think without fucking.
Go ahead, Herb. Go ahead, Herb.
Now it's crazy because now the PBC don't have a leg to stand up. They need to lean on No Limit in the way they did Tim on top of all that shit. See what I'm saying? A snake.
Because No Limit actually has a broadcaster. No Limit actually has stability. PBC, y'all PBC don't got nothing going on. Don't got nothing going on. That's that show with him and Spence. That's not a fucking PBC show. No Limit is promoting that. They controlling that. That's their show. It's their money making that happen. Fucking PBC. That shit is crazy. But you know, on that note, I'm going to sleep, fellas. I'm fucking old. I'll see y'all on the next one. Shout out to J Money. Like boxing, saw MK2, and they rewriting history. You gotta tell me about it on the next live, bro. I'm out of here.